people. Welcome to the show. Soldier K, I see you. My people. Welcome back to You and I Talk Show. My people, today we are on Saturday, March 8th, 2025. All right. I see you. I see you on Instagram. I see you on YouTube. Lumu 2015 on Instagram. I see you. Yo, is that Lucy? Lucy! Long time no see. Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to You and I Talk Show, my people. Soldier K, I see you. I see you. Happy Women's Day, he's saying. Soldier K, oh my goodness. Let me get your comments. But you can see the comments on the screen though. I'm like allowing them to like be defile over there. Rwanda. I see you, I see you, I see you. Welcome back. Ayana Mahando. Hey, Yirandizi Louise, how are you, my dear? Yo, we are doing great. How are you? How are you? Oh man, I'm doing great. Welcome back to You and I Talk Show. Today, my people, Saturday. We're chilling. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. And the topic, we're gonna speak a little bit in English and then move into French and then move into KinyaRwanda. The topic is the sanctions on Rwanda. As you may have seen last week, we had David Himbara on the show. And David Himbara is the writer who wrote the book Kagame's Economic Mirage and Rwanda's stillborn middle income economy. And he was pretty much exposing the economic success of Rwanda, that it's a scam, it's a mirage, it's fake numbers. So now we're talking about the sanctions. If anybody wants to express themselves on the sanctions, I see Will Wiseman talking about how you love the conversation with David Himbara. Thank you very much. So if anybody wants to come on the show and speak, my people, I have given you my platform so that you may also practice your freedom of speech. So I'm opening the platform. It's open mic. If anybody wants to come and express themselves, you are so welcome in the studio. We will host you and I talk. All right, my people. So, sanctions on Rwanda. Everybody's sanctioning Rwanda right now. What do I think about it? Where do I stand? Yes, of course, I've been in the resistance against the criminal dictatorship of the KAGAMISTAN in Rwanda, because on top of oppressing and enslaving Rwandans, it has also crossed the borders and went into Congo to try and take over Congo, to try and take over their land, enslave Congolese, and plunder their land. So, given already how the regime, which we have actually nicknamed the Kagamistan in Rwanda, because it's a criminal dictatorship, it's a tyranny that behaves like a religion. If you do not participate in the religion, if you leave it, if you refuse to participate, if you no longer want to be part of it, they seek to kill you. And so it's a totalitarian regime that you have to submit to. You have to kneel and kiss their ass, or else they kill you, they jail you, or you have to go into exile. So obviously, I've been denouncing this criminal dictatorship for a very long time. I've actually campaigning to boycott the Kagamistan in Rwanda, boycott visit Rwanda, boycott everything made in Rwanda, because the Kagamistan owns everything and everyone, employs everyone. When you sanction, when you boycott, you are directly touching the criminal dictator, because he has hijacked the country, hijacked the state, criminalized the state, because he's a criminal himself, who took over power by assassinating two African presidents. The my people, um all of a sudden, the I I got sabotaged. So, anyways, let's continue, right? I don't know, somebody interrupting my broadcast just to interrupt my flow, eh? Man! So, anyways, it's a criminal dictatorship in Rwanda, and I've been denouncing it for many years now and asking people to boycott it. And now the whole world is finally waking up to the reality of the madness of the criminal dictatorship of Rwanda, and they're sanctioning it. So, obviously, I am for the sanctions, but for anybody out there who is against the sanctions, come and debate. Come and debate. Come and express your views. Why is it that you think that the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda should not be sanctioned? Why is it? Tell us, you know, because what if, I'm going to ask this to Rwandans who support the criminals of the Kagamistan, what if the Congolese people had done to Rwanda what Rwanda has done to the Congo? Huh? What if the Congolese people, under the excuse that there are people who threaten the Congolese security in Rwanda, which would be true, even more than the claim that Rwanda has that there are people who threaten its security in Congo. You can see the so-called M23, completely backed by Rwanda. Even their clothes professionalized the rebel military army, but it is because it's supported by the state, a criminalized state of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So that's a threat to Congolese existence and their national security. But does Congo invade Rwanda? Does Congo invade the Kagamistan in Rwanda and takes over territories and occupies their territories and then starts to plunder Rwanda's bananas, because Rwanda doesn't have coltan. So if Congo was to do that, the only thing that they may be able to plunder from Rwanda would be maybe bananas and maybe tea, right? That's why Rwandans be bragging that nobody invades Rwanda. We are the ones who invade people. They brag about this. The criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda, who call themselves killing machines army, they brag about this in KinyaRwanda, and they are like, "U Rwanda ntiruterwa ruratera." Rwanda does not get attacked. Rwanda attacks. Rwanda invades. But why? Why? It's not so much because of outstanding bravery and all that good stuff. It's because who is trying to invade Rwanda? Ain't nobody trying to invade Rwanda, because there is absolutely nothing to plunder. What are they going to be plundering? Casseterite? Did you see some fake Pan African fake activists go to Rwanda instead of showing the coltan mines, which is the problem, the issue? Goes into casseterite mines, lying to Africans that Rwanda has mines too. Everybody has mines. The whole world has mines, but it's about particular minerals that Rwanda has been plundering in Congo and selling on the international scene. So all these people who have actually supported the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda are the ones now who are sanctioning it. So, which brings me to this idea that, okay, yes, I support the sanctions, but at the same time, I'm like, why should all these international uh, criminals as well who have supported Rwanda all this time, why should they even have the power and the capacity and the authority to sanction, anybody? They should be sanctioned themselves. So who's going to sanction all these people who have been supporting the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda for so many years? Who's going to sanction them? The Congo could and can sanction them if, for example, they refuse to give them access to their natural resources because they're in Congo looking for the Congolese natural resources. So the Congolese hold the cards. Trump, speaking about the cards, you ain't got the cards. Talking to Zelensky, right? Who has the cards? The Congo has the cards. The Congo has all the cards because they are the ones with the minerals that make superpowers be superpowers. You understand, my people? So, before I move into French, I am just going to see if you guys have any 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 questions, anything, any comments in the comment section. Let's see in the comment section. Muteba Chilawina Bana Demir Coline Bolingo Ezali. Wise man King Yola, sanctions on Rwanda are on the good side because they will discourage the Kagame regime from continuing the killings. But on the other side, the population will face the problem of starvation. The population in Rwanda had already been impoverished. The population is impoverished. The Kagamistan does not allow anybody to become a free entrepreneur and to feed themselves, has not allowed the country to become strong economically. And this is what David Himbara writes about Rwanda being economic mirage, that the success is an economic mirage because it's a success that is relying on all these help, aid, support, debt from the outside. So when you succeed based on a mirage and you succeed based on aid and help from the outside, you are giving these people the power to one day, if they decide to cancel you, for your entire nation to crumble. So this should be a lesson for all Africans to be like, our country should be independent and it should be self-sufficient, and so that if anything happens, they can survive. But if they can't survive because they've been sanctioned, then they are built on sand anyways. So what have they been talking about? Rwanda is successful, but then if it is sanctioned by all these Western people who are supporting it, then it crumbles. Then it exposes that Rwanda was built on a lie. So this building on a lie has to stop. This could also be the lesson for the Rwandan people, the Rwandan nation, for the future, and the entire African continent. Wise man King Yoda talking about, where can I buy that book of David Himbara? It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. So you could go on Amazon and check it out. And David Himbara was here, by the way. He proposed to me, so we are having a wedding. You proposed to me on camera in front of y'all. All right. So go support my fiance, David Himbara. His books are on Amazon. And then he said that he's writing a new book. So he's gonna be back on the show to introduce to you his new book soon. Oh my God, I was gonna leave the English section without talking to you about my surprise. Oh my God, my people, I also have a new book, and my new book is already in pre-order on Amazon. Those of you who are watching, you can see the QR code on that side. And yeah, so the QR code, you can see the first QR code, the one that's in blue right there. That will link you right away to my new book. My people, let me show you the cover of my new book, which is now available in pre-order on Amazon for those of you who are into ebooks. So the ebook is already in pre-order on Amazon. My people, this is my philosophy, my spirituality, my politics, history, culture, society. Oh, I have put so much knowledge, research, wisdom into this new book. I can't wait to be talking to you about it. And thank you to everybody who has ever supported me. It's been a long journey to get to this. So this book is going to serve for spiritual. My stuff just went offline again. More sabotages. I don't know if you're seeing it in the live show, but yeah, I just got sabotaged again. So anyway, my book is here for spiritual liberation. You have seen how our human rights have been trashed, you know, around the world, human rights getting trashed. So it's about time that we graduate. So we are going to learn in this book about our divine rights. So it's about know thy divine rights. And we are going to rise from being humanist to being Imanaist. I'm going to talk to you about the divinity and our way of understanding the divine and divinity that will help you become stronger spiritually. And when you are stronger spiritually, you are capable of even confronting criminal dictatorships. You know, so my spirituality, my philosophy is what has allowed me to be able to confront these criminal dictatorships and you know, survive and exist so far. So it's a philosophy. And so it is based on ancient African spiritual wisdom and spiritual knowledge, you know, like for us to know our divine rights, where do the divine rights come from? So I go into it, I explain the Maat, our history, you know, I go into Rwanda, I tie Rwanda to ancient Egypt. I show you all the divinities in ancient Egypt in KinyaRwanda and show you their connection to the rest of Africa in a living language. And so I talk about ancient philosophy, and then I talk about our divine rights that no one can ever take away from you, and that if you know, you can never ever ever be you can never be enslaved. You can never submit to these criminal dictatorships, you know. So let me take one question, and then maybe we will go into we'll go into the French. Mutebachilamuina. Time is running out for the Kagamistan criminals. Agahurukai. Walai. Yeah, man. You know, there's a time for everything. These people been committing crimes for so many years, and now they're finally the beginning of them being held accountable. And I've seen some of them be crying, and I'm like, what are you crying? I thought that Kagamistan was like a free nation, sovereign nation, independent nation, which does not need anybody to exist. But no, we find out the Kagamistan economic success is a mirage. The middle income economy is still born, and they're lying, and they're into Congo plundering their resources in order to fake even the little economic success that they have. I mean, Rwandans are going to have to find a way to exist without invading their neighbors, without going into Congo and plundering their fellow neighbors. So this is also one of the things that my new book will be helping Rwandans rise from their tribalism and back into their divine self, back into their unity, back into their highest self, and will also explain a lot of things because I've gone back into history, like back all the way to the 1500s. I'm not one of those people who think that Rwanda was born in 94. It's precisely because people think that Rwanda was born in 94 with the Kagamistan coming into power that they misjudge and don't understand it. And up to 2025, they're still fighting against this thing that they don't understand. So I went into it and explained so much more, and even explained our conflicts on the spiritual level for people to really be able to understand. Man, this is a book that generations after generations, they'll be like, damn, somebody wrote that for us, for you and I, my people. Liberation, spiritual liberation is here. That's the other thing. As you know, Africans been colonized by so many religions: Christianity, Islam, Judaism. I'm taking on all religions and showing you our original philosophy, even before there was the existence of this religion. So we are going to be upgrading and raising ourselves from humanist to Imanaist, which means we are going from humanity to divinity, and we are going to go by knowledge. Kings and queens have divine right. We also have divine right. We are going to learn our divine rights, and this will help us be free, more free than ever, always free, never enslaved, spiritually free, and freedom everywhere in all other domains, thanks to the spiritual freedom, because everything comes from the spirit. Oh, my people, I could talk forever about this book and about this philosophy, so that's why I put it in a book. So I'm very happy to announce that it's already in pre-order on Amazon for those who read ebooks, and for those who read paperback and hardcover, no worries, it's also coming. And the final release date is going to be this summer on July 7th. Oh, 7 7 7 7 7. My people, so be ready, we're gonna have a book club and everything. I'm gonna be wearing t-shirts with "Know Thy Divine Rights, Imana East." Oh, anybody ask for my identity and what do I identify with? I'm going to be like, oh, I am an Imana East, and I have an entire book about it. So don't be asking me what that means. Thank you, my people. SC is like, what do you think of Rutendo Matinyarare's coming documentary about Eastern Congo? Rutendo Matinyarare. I saw something that it was really disturbing in his video, in an interview that he did when he's in Rwanda. He talks about he is on his knees. He's on his knees begging Paul Kagame for forgiveness. So imagine, Rutendo Matinyarare has decided to go on his knees to kiss ass and suck. Mm-mm-mm. of the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. And then I saw him on Facebook. You know how Facebook be blocking me? They've been blocking me for so long. They have actually been one of the people who encouraged me to write my real book, fake book. So, anyways, they block my account, but I'm there undercover, anyways. But on an account that has no one. So I saw this Matinyarare guy uh, abusing people now or online and calling, I think it was Kazuba, that they are children of genocidaire, or calling people genocidaire and calling people children of genocidaire. So this Rutendo Matinyarare has become so corrupted that he's now behaving exactly that the Kagamistan people, the Kagamistan fans, when you rise, when you speak the truth against this criminal dictatorship, they start inventing genocide crimes on you, and they start calling you genocidaire, or they start calling you a son or a daughter or a child of genocidaire. Oh my goodness. So I saw Rutendo do that to a Rwandan activist, and I was like, this ma he is crazy. He has drunk the Kagamistan Kool-Aid to that level. And then so I would like to respond to him and tell him that if he's looking for genocidaire and children of the genocidaire, he is welcome to go and um, speak to the Kagamistan. Kagame himself is a genocidaire. He's looking for genocidaire. Go see Kagame. Or he can even speak to Kagame's children. Kagame's children, Andre Kagame and company, those are children of genocidaire. So why is he not speaking to those? Why is he not calling them children of genocidaire? They are the real children of genocidaire, and the real genocidaire is the Kagamistan in Rwanda. But is Rutendo now speaking about that? Is he talking about children of genocidaire, talking to Anje Kagame and the whole family? No. He's now out here abusing activists who denounce this criminal dictatorship, who stand with the Congolese people and who say, boycott Rwanda. I stand with the Congolese people. He is abusing those people. While kissing ass, while now praising the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. Oh my goodness. So my new book may address that as well. You know, this is about him being so spiritually poor. And because he's spiritually poor, he's weak. And because he's weak, he can be bought. He can be bought by criminals, which means he's just what we may call out here an intellectual prostitute. An intellectual prostitute, it's someone who has no values, no cause, and who is intelligent, smart, outspoken, and all that stuff. But they are prostitute because they would be willing to sell their skills to anybody. And as long as they get paid, well, they sell their skills, you know. The Kagamistan tried to buy my platform. You know, they offered me way more money than I hear that they allegedly offered to this guy, you know. But I said no. Why? Because I'm spiritually powerful. And even though I may need the money that they're offering, I am capable of saying no to that money, because that money is the devil tempting me, telling me, well, how about you kneel down and serve me, and then I'll give you everything. And then it's about me knowing my spirituality, my power, and saying that no, I do not accept anything from the devil because you have nothing, you know. So this guy, the Zimbabwe guy, he is spiritually poor, and so that's why he has been able to be bought allegedly, and then to fall, and now he is blatantly and publicly kissing criminals, genocidal government ass, while abusing and insulting the activists out here. You know, it's just madness. So what do I think about his documentary? Well, he's not a documentary filmmaker. He's a PR guy. He's a PR guy, so he would be like doing propaganda, So we've already seen that he has started to do propaganda for the Kagamistan. The Kagamistan needs him. The Kagamistan has tried to buy so many activists, us, the Get Bukes and all those Rwandan great speakers. They have tried, but so many people out here have said no, 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 no. We don't want nothing from you. We reject your corruption. And so this Zimbabwe guy has allegedly accepted the Kagamistan corruption, because he's so poor. He's so spiritually poor. And now he thinks that his speaking skills and his PR skill can save the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. But the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan has committed crimes against humans and against Imana, against the divinity. So there is absolutely nothing that you can do to save the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. But the Kagamistan has spent so much money on PR, on people who can speak for it, and they will buy anyone who is an intellectual prostitute, who is selling themselves, who has no values, you know? So we are witnessing this thing happening, and we may have thought that this guy was an activist, but it turns out that no, he's an intellectual prostitute. So his documentary is not a documentary filmmaker. It's going to be PR and propaganda for the Kagamistan. The Kagamistan needs him, so they allegedly have hired him, and they need him. They need him so badly. But I would like to warn him and the Kagamistan that they cannot be saved by PR. They have spent so much money on PR already, and they can no longer be saved by PR, because the truth, my people, they are divine principles that are in action, and there is no winning against divinity and divine and eternal principles, which even in this book, obviously, I talk about. So that's what it is. That's what it is. My people. All right, so let's be moving on into French. I see somebody has come into the studio, but they completely cut off their camera. They cut off their. Oh, you are there, eh? Okay, let me put you on the screen. Let me put you on the screen so you can express yourself. Okay, let's now how am I going to do that? Let's Okay, so you okay, hold on, hold on. This studio is Okay, this studio is how do I add him on the screen? How? Yeah, let me find a way to add you on the screen. So how do people add people on the screen now? Okay, so let's see. Uh-huh. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, I think we have you in the show now. Please
Yes,
speak
yes.
so people can tell me if they can hear you.
Asante, Asante, Louise. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think you can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right, let me introduce myself first. I'm Carl. I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo, from Kivu, actually. Bukavu, Vira, Goma, all that is my, I can say my land, that's my territory. I would start by thanking you, Louise, for all, I've been here and then following you, listening to you since I'm an activist. I know a little bit of you. Thank you for your fight. Thank you for all that the effort you've been putting in for Congo. And before I continue, I'll say I'd like to say first, definitely the subject which you put up today. Of course, these sanctions. I'm for the sanctions because I think they will squeeze in the Kagamistan so that he may start, losing up a little bit on the grip which he has put on Congo, especially creating chaos, creating the massacres of our people, you know, uh, creating poverty as well. Because when there is this war, another thing that a lot of people probably outside of the continent don't realize is that people lose their livelihood, lose their businesses because businesses are loot. I was born there. I know how it goes. People like in my family, we in the 1996 we lost a lot of things. Up to now, some of my family members couldn't recover, and now there is another war. So that's the thing, and people are dying. So these sanctions are necessary to squeeze up the Kagamistan so that they may start respecting other people's lives. And we wish that it can even be harder for them, so that even in Rwanda they can free up the space so that people can have freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and who knows, maybe our brother from Rwanda, brother and sister in Rwanda, can come up and get a better leader than Kagame, of course. Yeah. Another thing which I meant to ask you, I wrote you on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen my message. If you check there will be a guy with a name starting with O, because since this war has started, I've realized that in English-speaking medias, especially even African, they don't have the true story. They don't have the reality or the informations of what is going on in Rwanda, neither even in Congo. Because, as you know, the Kagamistan is big on PR, is big on image. What can I say? They have many cabinets which have been pushing their side of story. So I've come to most of the time even leave my work and appear on shows like Search for Uhuru. If you follow it, all any subject you speak, they put up about Kagame. I've went there and give them facts, give them verifiable references, you know. And there was some time I was exchanging. I even told him, since I'm Congolese, maybe you don't trust me. I'm gonna do my efforts and find you our brothers and sisters from Rwanda, because I was like, and my first thought was like, I need to reach out to Ausares, our Uwacu, and see if she can be willing to help us and speak to this American who don't know the reality, the Nigerian, the Kenyans, and even some South African, who don't know the reality of the region. So, yeah, I reach out to that, and hopefully you'll respond me positively.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Omkal. And I would definitely love to speak to them. It would be, I would definitely love to speak to them. I've been campaigning and supporting the Congolese people for a very long time
Yes,
because,
always.
I studied the situation and realized that Rwanda was so wrong. And me being Rwandan, I absolutely had to take a stand because it's necessary for
Yes.
Africa. Because I look at the whole Africa, I'm a Pan
Mm-hmm.
Africanist, I'm
Pan
looking at
African,
the
yeah.
whole Africa, right? So,
Yes.
for the
In
sake
our land.
of the whole Africa, when our own country is wrong, we have to denounce it. And
Definitely.
so we cannot allow for a small African country to become a puppet of the predators and then to go out there and to seek international support and go against our fellow Africans and
Yeah.
kill in millions
Yeah.
Congolese people while people stay silent, and then Rwandans support the regime because he's our uncle, because he's our family. We are going to be silent and support the regime. So I have actually had to stand against my own country, against my own people, against my own family for the sake of the truth and for the
Wow.
sake of
Thank
the
you so
whole
much.
continent. So it would definitely, I would definitely love to educate anyone who wants to listen. I would love to answer their questions. So Facebook has blocked me, because I've been so outspoken. Facebook has blocked me. I created a
Oh.
secondary account. They blocked me. So I think maybe you reach out to me
Uh,
on my
uh,
two blocked Facebook accounts.
or can I? Is there a way I can leave? Because I'm familiar with StreamYard, but this seem a little bit weird because I don't see where I can write you a private comment. I could leave you with my
Oh yeah,
email.
yeah, yeah.
That way.
This is there's a private chat here. I see you in
Yes,
the private chat.
yes, but
So yeah, this is not StreamYard. I had to move from StreamYard because
oh,
StreamYard. Yeah, please leave me. You can leave me your email in
yes.
the
Let me
chat,
see.
and then
Yeah.
I'll take notes of it. And then you could also inbox me on Instagram as well, because
All
even
right.
though Instagram belongs to Facebook, they haven't blocked me yet. And then you could also inbox me on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
And then I'll definitely get it. So how are things in Congo right now, and what would you like to see from the people out here, people, the African diaspora, Rwandans? What would you like to see happen, and then what is like the best resolution of this conflict in your view?
In my view, the first thing we need to do is put pressure on the Kagamistan and their proxy of so-called M23 so that they can stop killing people and even uh, creating more havoc. They have to be content, and if it could be possible, like even pull out of Bukavu and Goma and be wherever they can be. But of course, we need to put also the internet. Like as Congolese, we are putting a lot of pressure on Felix Tshisekedi because again, we know that is not the leader whom Congo deserved to have, or whom we were thinking he could even be. You know, I'm not a partisan guy. Tshisekedi could have done better because there is money. Congo doesn't lack money to build up a good army because when you don't have a defense apparatus or security apparatus like an army, intelligence services, you don't have a country. You can't have a country like that. So, out of these 6 years, if even in the 4 years where he was totally free of his predecessor who put him in power, if he was really a patriotic and willing and have the know-how, Congo could come up with an army that could have put up a fight with the Kagamistan. But he didn't do that because his mind was on embezzling money. I don't know if you know that every year every month in Congo there is like maybe if I'm conservative, I would say maybe tens of millions of US dollars that get invested, which he raised up the salary of, I mean, his own salary, the salary of political guys like the parliamentarians, senators, ministers, which was unnecessary. You cannot believe. I think Congolese parliamentarian, they are the well paid parliamentarian in the world. I think a Congolese parliamentarian earn more than probably a president of the United States a year. Those guys earn more than 30,000 US dollar a month. Imagine. That is unnecessary. While the soldiers, the army, they don't get much. So that was a mistake. One of the things which you could done. So other than putting pressure on the Kagamistan so that they can stop their war and killings, we Congolese, we are putting pressure on Tshisekedi. He should let that the process which the church, the Catholic Church and the Protestant Church, they are trying to put up together, because that process is so that Congolese, there is a lot of frustration among Congolese, there is a lot of division, and the person who divided Congolese, I will be truthful, it's Tshisekedi, because in 2018, he didn't won election. Kabila imposed him there. There was a way of dealing with that situation than the way how he dealt with it. He could have reached out to Martin Fayulu so that, to bridge up the gap. In 2023, he, he was going, actually, when I was observing him, I kind of like see some patterns of how KAGAMISTAN came to be totalitarian, like silencing some critics, silencing some other journalists, even up to killing some opposition. So that was really, really bad. So other than putting up pressure on KAGAMISTAN, pressure is to be applied also on Tshisekedi so that there can be talks among Congolese and come up with a better way of governing Congo, because it's a Ausares. I'm telling you, it's so painful, like to see how our fellow Congolese, our fellow Africans are living in Congo, the land of plenty, but some area people are living like, no, I'm even ashamed to say how they're living, because it's unacceptable. It doesn't mean that there is no wealth, there is no means. The land is well, is rich with everything, agricultural, mineral. So it's only needs a political will to organize stuff, and people will be better. And even the Kagamistan, even our brother from Rwanda, Burundi, Angola, any country can benefit from Congo being well managed. So
I hear you. I hear
that's
you.
my take.
Um, sometimes this is another issue that in Africa we may have. Sometimes these leaders, they come into power and they are not spiritually strong.
Definitely,
This
yes,
is like my topic of my new book. Not only are they spiritually poor, but they are also like, even in the material world, they are poor, right?
yeah,
So their concern is to eat first. Even the Kagamistan, when he came into power, he was so poor, and his first concern was to enrich himself. you know Even these wars of going into Congo is for him to enrich himself. He's only enriching himself. So Africa has yet to have a leader who comes into power, like, for example, the American president coming into power and he's a billionaire already, and so he doesn't have that hunger of eating first, because he's so satisfied he's a billionaire already, and then now he's coming into office to help his country because he thinks that his country is doing so bad. You understand? Like, we have
yeah.
not had anybody like this. Like, if Dangote is a billionaire in Nigeria, can you imagine if Dangote was like, okay, now I'm a billionaire, I don't even need your money,
But
I don't
Sister
need to
Louise,
steal from the government, I just want to help my country advance. So we don't have anybody. You don't have anybody like that in Congo. You've never had anybody like that in Congo. So I can understand when you say that, when this president came in, he was concerned in enriching himself, which the previous president Kabila did that. Mobutu
yes,
came in and he also did that.
yes,
So
yeah.
you would have to make sure that if any the person who may come after him then should also be better. Do you
Yeah,
have anyone in your opposition? Because this is another issue
yeah,
that I watch in Congo.
yeah.
When I watch in the Congolese opposition, I'm under the impression that you don't have anyone who is
No,
actually on that level that I'm
no,
speaking about.
no, Sister Louise. And it's not really about being rich. I don't think that just by becoming president. President of Congo. Already in 1 year, you will be rich, even if you had nothing. I don't think that's the problem. The problem is like the first one, which you said, spiritual capability or spiritual toughness of, supporting that. I didn't have nothing, but now, because do you know how much is the president of Congo salary? It was
How
1
much?
million. It was 1 million a month. Now I think it's over 2 million a month. Who
Mm,
can't be rich with that salary for 1 year?
mm.
You see, so it's not money. The good question you ask in the opposition. Of course, there are plenty of guys in the opposition who could play that role. Do you see? Even in 2018, the guy whom Kabila refused to give power to, Martin Fayulu. I am sure at that time I was not for Matesha Fayulu, but knowing his background, knowing his education background, knowing his even spiritual, because you can hear somebody and you can feel somebody spiritually how he's aligned, and knowing what he had. If that guy could have become president, Congo could have been in a better position than right now. You can see even the guy, because he was principled, when they suggest him something which he found that it's illegal, he was like, no, I can't take that. I know I won election. I'm gonna go by what the law says and what the constitution says. So that's it. I don't want to be compromised. Already you can see that this is a guy who could have helped us. But of course, the power which were in play, and the guy who was the president, Joseph Kabila, because he was not, he didn't mean good thing for Congo. That guy, I can assure, that guy never meant anything good for Congo. He never liked Congolese. He loved Congo so as to enrich himself and his family, but he never liked Congolese. So he couldn't even afford to give Congo a chance of having a leader of a caliber of Martin Fayulu. Because guess what? Since Congo have been independent, or since when Congolese have been governing Congo, we never had a chance, other than Laurent Désiré Kabila, we never had a chance of a president who did tertiary education. Mobutu didn't do tertiary education. He was autodidact up to high school education. But he had his fault at that time. But people will be surprised. I come from a Lumumbist family, but Mobutu, after looking at the history, after looking at what he did some great things. Then we went. Of course, Kasavubu was, in the priestly education, but it didn't last longer. Then we got Mobutu last longer. He didn't have tertiary education. Fast forward, Laurent Désiré Kabila, the guy whom could have done better things, they cut him out. They took him out. That's the guy who had tertiary education. Then came the so-called Joseph so-called Kabila. No tertiary education. We weren't even sure that he finished high school. You see the mess how he left us in. Then came Chilombo Tshisekedi, no tertiary education. The guy didn't even finish high school. So you see, it's a problem. Of course, we are not saying only this colonial, or we can so-called modern education. It's all that matter. There is also a person can be traditionally educated and have values, our ancestral value, and because somebody can be traditionally educated and not have really tertiary education and be good. But these two guys, these two previous presidents, they didn't have none of that. When you spoke about being wealthy before coming to presidency, I can give you. I'm gonna refute that by taking the example of Magufuli. Look at what John Pombe Magufuli did in Tanzania. The guy wasn't wealthy when he came, to power. He had, of course, a salary of a minister in Tanzania. It's not a wealthy. It was not a lot of money, but because the guy was patriotic, he loved his country and he loved his people. He did amazing things. And this is what I've been sometimes even discussing with our brother, English-speaking brother, when they tended to push Kagame. I always tell them, Kagame is only, him, you have a better image of him because of PR. But there were great presidents in Africa who did amazing things than Kagame, who you don't know. And I give them example of Magufuli. I give them example of Seretse Khama of Botswana, and other Botswana presidents in Namibia, and they are amazed when I give them facts and they start finding out. So it's
Mhm.
not about wealth, but it's about that spirit which you spoke about.
Absolutely. But I think maybe this spirit is getting developed,
Yeah.
and I think you will definitely get there. And I do think that you are on the right path. Like Congo is on the right path right now, and obviously on the right side of history. And you know, Tshisekedi was brought in by Kabila, right?
Yes.
And I think that when Tshisekedi, when Kabila, helped Tshisekedi to come into power, they were underestimating him. They were
Yeah.
hoping
That's true.
that he will become weak and he will become their puppet. But I
Perfect.
think
That's true.
with time, even in power, he has been in much less in power, much less time in power than Kabila was ever in power. But
Yes.
what he has been able to accomplish diplomatically and to let the whole world know the case of the Congo, and be also like a sort of activist, so that the Kagamistan goes down diplomatically. Like, this is something that maybe you guys are not realizing how big this is. Like, for Congo to win diplomatically against the Kagamistan, and all the work that your government, your president, your minister of foreign affairs have been doing. This
Yeah.
has been so huge, and it's not an easy thing to
Yeah.
come and face this Kagamistan, which had done so much propaganda and which had taken over the entire world media, and to overturn the situation. This is something. I consider this to be a huge success for Chisekedi, right? So, and I think this is something that he had been
We can build on.
underestimated,
Yeah.
and that the Kabila people were actually thinking, oh, we're gonna put him, he's gonna be weak, and then we're gonna sabotage him, and then he's not gonna be able to defend the country, and then Kabila is gonna come back. Kabila was hoping to have a comeback by putting in someone who he thinks is weak and then fighting against him and sabotaging him. But it turns out that Chisekedi has been able to be a player. I call him a player. Like, he has been able to play them the
Then
same way
yeah,
they try to play him, the same way that he has also played them. And
that's
then
true.
on top of playing them, he has also been able to advance the Congolese case on the international scene to the level where Congo wins in the minds. So you still have a battle in the media, in the military front, but in order for you guys to win, you also need to recognize the huge, huge battle that you have had to fight and that you are winning. Otherwise, if you don't recognize what you're winning and the huge battle that you have had to fight that you're winning, you may not keep winning as much as you should, because you can't see the wins that you already have. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I understand.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. Credits are due when there is something. Of course, I give them credit to the diplomatic battle which they put up, and with the minister Kaikwamba, she did a great job. That's we cannot take that away. But with me being and observing and then knowing what is going on in even in the embassies of Congo, because those are those were supposed to be those are our diplomatic representation outside. Knowing what I know, I believe that I feel like more could have been done, because you see, Ausares,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we have seen, this a few wins that Congo has gained. The real win is now what Congolese government is gonna do about this. Because when you observe well, they seems to be like, in the most part, they seem to be like a lips services up to now. So it's now the follow up that will now like conclude that it's a real win, or if the Kagamistan will try to come up with, will try to raise up. Do you see, like the guy who you touch about, Rutendo, is the PR
Mm-hmm.
which they are using so that they can even you know sort some doubt in. I'm among the people who are have been giving him facts there, because I can say I'm not boasting, but I am knowledgeable of the history of Rwanda and Congo, and I'm knowledgeable of, because I'm in the group where we have two scholars who have worked on that issue. Two scholars
Mm-hmm.
from Kivu who have worked, they've spent years doing research, reading any document, and they understand the region, they understand what went down in Rwanda, and they understand what is going on in in Kivu.
Mm-hmm.
One wrote a PhD, he's a PhD in in the subject. So I can give him facts, I can give him verifiable references, anybody. So, that was like a parenthesis. But yes, Chisekedi can do better if he's willing to even understand, and it doesn't mean that Congolese, we don't have what you call human resources to do that. We
Mm-hmm.
have people with knowledge. You know yourself, for example, but Mbeko,
Oh yes.
you see, if they can
Beko
even,
is a great presidential candidate because he understands politics on the international level and he understands politics on the local level,
leave leave it even putting him in presidential, but if they can approach him even to be their advisor when it comes to,
Advisor. He
yeah,
can
to
be an advisor.
geopolitics, you
Yeah,
see, to
he can be an
geopolitics.
advisor. He can
Yes,
be a minister of something.
yes.
He's
Do you,
so great.
yeah. Do you see the guy who they nearly put him on death row, like Jean-Jacques Wondo? I don't know if you know about him. That guy is a great analyst when it comes to military intelligence and security, because he was himself an officer in Congolese army a long time ago. He left, he went to Belgium. He put himself in a military academy. He came out because he has the passion of that. Every time when you read this article about the Congolese military and what can happen, it ended up happening the way how he was analyzing it, and he's not alone. So in Congolese people, there is that human resources, but it's up to the guy who is the president to be willing to reach out and be willing to open up and be like, yes, we need to work together, and not only working with people who will be telling him, yes, boss, yes, president, yes, preso, yes. No, you understand, Louis?
Absolutely, absolutely. I hear you. I hear you. It's a huge task, and I
Yes.
understand you. Because you are Congolese. Obviously, you need to hold your president
Accountable, yeah.
accountable.
Yeah.
You need to hold your president accountable, and you also need to always be criticizing him so that he can improve. And I'm also enjoying this because it also shows the difference between Congo and Rwanda. That in Congo you may have a democracy where people still have political debates and they still have
Yes.
political opinions, and they can even still criticize their government. You can
Mhm.
even still criticize your president.
Yes.
So even
Mhm.
this is nice. And then even though you want him to win, you want Congo to win, you are not blindly
Yes.
following your president.
Definitely.
Unlike some people in the Kagamistan who are they are just fans of the Kagamistan, and they are so blind to anything and everything that he's doing.
Mhm.
And when he's wrong, when he's invading Congo, instead of supporting the Congolese people,
They just
they are supporting the Kagamistan, and they're now playing as if Rwanda is a victim. Or why is everybody attacking
Mhm.
Rwanda and sanctioning Rwanda? They are behind Kagame. And Rwandan people don't have that. Like, let's question, why would even the whole world be sanctioning you? Why don't you hold your own president accountable and ask him questions? So this does not even exist in Rwanda, you know.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
fact that this even exists in Congo, and the fact that you have all these opposition people in Congo, they're all in Kinshasa, right? Even Fayulu, even Katumbi, even Kabila was allowed to, like, you know, be there for a very long time, you know.
No,
So
Louise,
all
not
these
really.
things are things that show how Congolese people and how your nation is operating and how you guys are so much more advanced, you know.
Yeah. Yes, Louise. Do you see? I will address also a comment that came up, but you said they're all in Kinshasa. Not really, Louise. That's where I
Mm,
said even Tshisekedi, probably
mhm,
when he was very friendly, when he was still in good relationship with Kagame, he was trying to adopt some Kagamistan methods because this is what happened. uh, a lot of politicians, they had some liberty of opinion in Congo and of speech and space, but as years progress, since like the 2021, I don't know if you heard the killing of the former minister of transport. Uh, his name is just there is a guy who used to be a minister of transport who was killed, and a lot of indication shows that it's probably one of Tshisekedi family members who was the cause of the death of that minister.
mhm,
Then there was, because this is the thing, and the guy would say, "No, I'm not for Nanga. I can never." Me being, let me tell you, people, my father is from Uvira. My uncle is among the first group of Wazalendo who fought Rwandan army in 1996, in 1998, and 2000 and 2003. I myself was among that movement in 1998, although I was younger. So I can never, ever, not even in my dream, be for Nanga. Nanga is a guy who later on, when Congo is pacified and there is order, needs to be brought to justice. But although I'm against Nanga, I'm not blinded, I'm not fanatic to say that Tshisekedi is a saint. Now, everything that Tshisekedi is doing is good. No, because if we are now in this mess, partly is because of Tshisekedi. Because Louise and other people who don't know Congo, I know Congo. I've traveled through Congo. Congo has so many military centers which are at they are dilapidated. And those centers, they don't need more than $10 million to be rehabilitated and give soldiers, Congolese soldiers, a place where they can be doing military maneuvers and training. But Tshisekedi have been in power. He has embezzled probably billion of US dollar. And so those centers are dilapidated. For example, there is in Kivu, there was a Rumangabo. In the last time actually right now, since I've been going through the media, probably I'll never put my feet anymore in Rwanda. But in 2015, I was in Rwanda because I was going back home. I went back home in Bukavu, Uvira, and I came to Goma, and I was curious. I wanted to go to Rwanda because the last time I went to Rwanda, it was in 1989, in 1989. So, and I had friends. I had friends in Kigali, my even family, because my father was in business, in kind of petrol business from eastern side of Africa to Congo. So we had, friends in Kigali. Some, if I say their name here, people might be able to recognize them in both sides, both Tutsi and Hutu. So during the war in 1994, during the war in Rwanda, some of our friends, they were even hosted at our places. So it was a long time. We've never been in contact. But when I went back home, the family member, they told, "Oh, you remember so and so and so? They went back to Rwanda. You remember so and so and so?" And so I went and visited Rwanda. I know some people, as you said, I know what's going on in Rwanda because even our friends, when you try to speak with them in Rwanda about politics, They will tell you, hey, stop that. But when you come to, you are both of you in Goma or in Bukavu, they will speak freely. They will tell you everything. They will speak their mind. So I understood that people are really oppressed in Rwanda. They can't speak up. Now, back to Congo, Tshisekedi started doing kind of the same thing. Anybody who criticized him in Kinshasa, even journalists, I don't know if you know Pero Luara. I don't like him, but he's a Congolese. I will plead for him. I'm a human rights activist. Pero Luara ran away from Congo because he was pro this guy called Katumbi, and he started getting death intimidation or death threat. That's why he ran away from Congo, because things like that can happen. UDPS, or the party of the president, has this group called Force de Progrès. It has become like a militia in Kinshasa. It intimidates politicians. That why there is an opposition politician called Frank Diongo. He was beaten at his place. His place was broken down, was destroyed. He feared for his life and he ran away. So those things were starting to come up also in Congo. That's why I said it's better for all the Congolese politicians, not only Congolese politicians, the whole society, have a round table of talk. Even if they're not gonna include these traitors of Nangas, Bisimwa, and M23, but for Congo to win this war, there has to be a true and reconciliation round talk, where Congolese will speak their mind, will tell anybody what they did wrong, so that people can be reconciled, and all of us fight the Kagamistan in Congo.
Hmm.
Yes.
But in order for this to happen, you need to win the war first. And in order to win the war first, you have to support the best efforts of the people who are in power, who are fighting this war. Like there are steps. You can't when your country is invaded and attacked by the Kagamistan in Rwanda, which is a criminal dictatorship, which doesn't care at all about democracy, which has no democracy in Rwanda, and this country decides to attack you. Uh, and if the Kagamistan was to succeed in Congo and taking over Congo, they will never give you this freedom of speech. They will never give you democracy. So the democracy that you have is already better than anything that the Kagamistan would ever bring to you. So, which means that if your country is now under attack and it's getting attacked by savages who have no respect for democracy, who will, if they want, they wouldn't bring you that democracy anyways, um, the priority would be to defend your country and to support whoever is in power who is defending your country so that you may win the war. And once you win the war, then that's when you can have the national reconciliation, the national talk and discussions. But right now, if your country is under attack, you can't have space for those kind of things.
Louise, what you are saying, it can seem like making sense, but it's not like that. You remember there is this idiom which says, a kingdom divided against itself can never win. And Congo right now, I assure you, I'm a Congolese, I'm a well informed, I have family even in Kinshasa. I can, I have time, with me, the work which I do, I have a freedom of leaving my work and even reading newspaper and reading news the whole day. I have that freedom. So I know what's going on in Congo and the way how things are. Of course, we are holding our lines. Like me, probably every 3 times in a week, I am in talk with people in Uvira, Bukavu, Goma. And among those people who I'm in talk with, they are Wazalendo. Of course, I encourage them to hold the line so that we don't give the the KAGAMISTAN more space. But at the same time, when I hear their frustration, when I hear the frustration of people who are in politics, when I hear the frustration of teachers in even the part where there's no war, like in Kinshasa, like in Lubumbashi, when I hear the frustration of my people in Katanga, I know that things are not good. And if we continue like this, people will be demoralized, and the Kagamista will gain space because people are demoralized. They are not motivated even. So for that motivation to come, it's for the people who are in power, Tshisekedi as a president, to open up space, to be willing to listen, and stop what he was trying to do. Because look at this, Louise. Do you know that we are like we've? Can you imagine that in all this situation? For example, since there was a land to hold their line in Uvira, it has been maybe 2 weeks now. They didn't receive any help from Kinshasa, neither monetarily, neither material. It's only probably now as we are speaking, that's how now there is maybe a semblance of some logistical help now coming, a semblance. But it doesn't mean that Kinshasa doesn't have means to support those guys.
Hmm.
There is
I
means.
think what people need to understand on the Congo side, I'm thinking of something that can unite people because you talked about your kingdom divided, right?
Yes.
So then maybe we need to talk about what is it that can unite the Congolese people. And one of the things that I would like to tell you guys, the Congolese, that may help you in your unity process and your fight against the Kagamistan. Because me, I'm on the side of the Congolese people. I'm not on the side of any
Thank you. I
government.
know.
Anyone who is in power, I would support them as long as they're working for the Congolese people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing that would unite the Congolese people uh, is to realize that it's not about Tshisekedi. And if Tshisekedi loses the war, it will be the entire nation that has lost the war. So I think people need to understand that it's not Tshisekedi who is fighting the war, it's the whole country, it's the entire nation. And we cannot allow the Kagamistan to win, even if it's against Tshisekedi. Even if we like him or don't like him, we need to put that on the side, because if Chisekedi loses, it's the entire nation that is losing. And they would be losing to the Kagamistan, which is 1,000 times worse than Chisekedi. So you think Chisekedi is bad, but the people that he's fighting against are 1,000 times worse than him. So if he loses, even though you think he's bad, you're going to get 1,000 times worse. So the best strategy would be to help the Congolese people resist and win against the Kagamistan. You see what I'm saying? And one of the solutions would be, you had brought up the idea of salaries, to increase the salaries of the military people, to increase the salaries from the bottom up. I saw, if I know that if you're already criticizing Chisekedi, today I found out that he has nominated his own daughter as
Can you imagine?
secretary.
Can you
So
imagine?
I'm pretty sure
Can
you
you
have
imagine?
issues with that.
Can you imagine all that? And not only that, among the people who he nominated, 75% they are people of his own. I mean, I'm even ashamed to say it. His own ethnic group. Imagine that.
I was saying, like, we have, if this girl is qualified, maybe we need to look at if this girl is qualified. But I was already saying, like, nobody on the Rwandan side, nobody in the Kagamistan should should be allowed to say anything
No,
about this, because Kagame has put all his children in government. He works with his daughter. He has put all his sons in the military. Everybody, his entire family is the one which is in government, which is employed in the government. And we can't even begin to talk about tribalism in Rwanda. You know,
I
the
know.
Hutu versus Tutsi thing.
It's
Everything in Rwanda is tribalized,
yeah.
and it's only a tiny little minority group which gives
That's why.
itself
That's
everything.
why. That's why Ausares, we are trying to fight Tshisekedi because we don't want that bad behavior, bad manner to to infiltrate or to to contaminate us. We don't want that things like that because
Mhm,
it's really bad, and it's not only salary, even administration. The
mhm,
the administration people, the administration is really really bad. It doesn't mean that it can't be done better. The people we have, Congolese have the experience of better administration than what is going on. So
mhm.
it's just that incompetence, corruption. Can you imagine somebody who like everything prove that this guy embezzled more than 100 million US dollar, but you as a president, because he's your friend, and probably because there is another, there is even one of his aide who said the president doesn't do business, we do business for him. So we can extrapolate to say that the president doesn't embezzle, we embezzle for him. And we know for sure the guy who embezzled that money, he couldn't embezzle it. He couldn't steal that money without the benediction of Tshisekedi. So, because he's his friend, he said, "Oh no, guys, you are destroying the reputation of a family father." What is that? The guy have embezzled 100 million. Is not his dad's money. This is money for the country. The money which can help rebuild our army. As I told you, those because the Congolese army, the problem, other than the infiltration, which is not a big deal to stop, the other problem is the problem of motivation, training, and the discipline. And those things can be gained with the wealth that Congo has. Congo has, if they cut the salary, those salary which they give themselves, Congo can get money to pay well its military, and it can get money to rehabilitate those centers. If in few months, even in 3 months, those centers can be rehabilitated, and the soldiers get a good training and a good military maneuver.
Yeah,
If,
Congo is actually rich enough
yes,
that it doesn't even have to cut the salaries of the people who already have high salaries. It just needs to pay the people who have low salaries and give them better salaries. Because I think the salary issue is also to avoid corruption. You know, it's a big country, rich country. If the employees of the government are not properly paid, that's when they get tempted by corruption, you know. So since you're a rich country, you can afford to pay your president, your ministers, your MP so high, but then go also on the lower level, all these military people, all these people who are serving them, and increase their salaries as well. You know, you don't even have to cut anybody, because when people think, oh, I'm getting a cut and somebody's getting an increase, it doesn't even have to be a cut from others. It has to be an increase to those who don't have it, you know?
yes, Louise, but for now, because before, yes, we have the wealth, but remember, the wealth has to be extracted, transformed, and then sold. And for that to take part, it needs infrastructure. For now, we don't have the infrastructure right now. Like, if we can't get that infrastructure in next month or in 3 months or 4 months to get all that wealth that we can pay up all those people without cutting. But for now, those guys can afford the cut. Louise, who can't live on the salary of 10,000 US dollar a month in Africa? Who? Then even if you have two, even if you have 10 kids, 10,000 US dollar? Enough. Because you have they have that 10,000 US dollar with other other advantage. It's like they are, their house is paid off, their transportation is paid off by the government. You see, even their healthcare, they have healthcare benefits, is paid off. So they can afford to cut that 15,000, which is on top. Yeah, they can afford to. If the president, come on, does the president of Congo necessitate or deserve 2 million US dollar a month? It's a lot of money. While maybe what can you say, a clerk is getting $80 or $100, I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
if the Congo, I hear you. If the Congo was properly well managed and with all the meritocracy, all the qualified people in the right position, you guys would live even better than the Emiratis. I
yes,
like to compare it to the Emiratis. Look at how the Emiratis live. Their own people, their population, they get money. They get money. Everybody is rich in the Emiratis, and then you would be importing in people to work for you. Rwandans will be coming to Congo to work for you.
of
Because
course.
Congo is so rich, and everyone in Congo should be rich and should be living even better than the Emiratis, and then you will have illegal immigrants trying to get into your country, like how illegal immigrants be trying to get into USA, right?
US,
Because they
yes.
know that's the land of opportunity.
And
So,
for us,
mhm.
we I don't think we will be calling them illegal immigrants, because what you said have happened in the past. Do you know that it had happened in the past? Like when most of our brother who end up, calling themselves today Banya whatever, Banyamu. I don't like calling them.
Banyamulenge, yeah.
Yes, Banyamulenge and Banyavu. A lot of those guys, they are actually our brothers and sisters from Rwanda and Burundi who came, because they found that they saw that in Congo, some migrated. Actually, when you hear them tell you, oh, some even come from Tanzania. Let me explain the history, how it was. You remember when there was all this trouble in Rwanda, like even when we can go back to the 1900s. So people flee. Some went to Uganda, some went to Tanzania, right? And some
Mm-hmm.
even to Burundi, and then a few went to Congo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all those who were in Tanzania, especially, and Burundi, when they will hear that, hey, our brother who went in Congo, they have it better there, because over there they are afforded even scholarship to go to school, to university. If you ask, even I think even Dagijimana, the guy who used to be a minister, Dagijimana.
Mm-hmm. In France, right? The
Yes,
guy was in
he
France.
studied in Congo
Mm-hmm.
with Congolese scholarship,
Wow.
and he's not alone. If you hear the guy Bisengimana Rwema, he was
Mm-hmm.
he's a refugee from he came from, I think, is it Changugu? Yeah, he's from Changugu.
Mhm. I wrote about the Banyamulenge in my new book. I go back way, way, way
Yes,
back into
yes,
history, into
yes, in the 1900s, when they came. So they had it better because we, as Congolese, as I told you, all those places where they live. I can even tell you the story of the place Mulenge, how and the year when they changed that name, their Banyarwanda name to Banyamulenge. I know because my uncle actually was among the traditional council who invited them to tell them that, hey guys, remember, we welcome you as our brother from Rwanda, and we gave you the place to live. Now, since you have gained some political influence and some economic influence, you wanna do something which is illegal. We we oppose you. We advise you not to go to that route. I know I can give names. You know, all Alexi, the Gisaro Moza. I know them. I know they know my family. So it used to be like that. We used to welcome our brother and sister from all the neighboring country, from Burundi. I grew up with Banyarwanda and Barundi. At least I understand KinyaRwanda well, and Kirundi I can speak a little bit, because that's how we used to live. It's only now when the KAGAMISTAN came in, and the politics which they have, or the mentality which they had, they try to impose that, and they are trying to falsify the history. But we know one another. We used to treat them as brothers. I don't know now what will happen if we will ever go to the way we used to live, because when you have killed my auntie and my uncle who welcomed you and gave you a place to a shelter, now is dead. I don't think that me is his nephew or his niece, I will look you the same way how I used to consider you as a brother. Do you see what I mean?
I
But
see what you mean. And the
yeah,
only thing that can make us brothers and sisters again is if we stand together in truth and we simply support the truth, like right now, sanctions or no sanctions, and for people to understand why the sanctions are there, and for us to understand what the Kagamistan has been doing. And because you can't be brothers with people who are invading you and trying to kill
no,
you.
yeah,
So
that
the only way that Rwandans and Congolese are going to be brothers and sisters again is if at least we can have that foundation of the truth, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
since people in the Kagamistan like to lie and to broadcast their propaganda, how can they be brothers and sisters? In your own family, if someone, your own brothers and sister, if they lie to you, they are breaking the relationship.
yeah, yeah,
So my
yeah.
brother, let's come to the conclusion. What is
Yes.
your message? What do you want? What
My
is the
message.
call to action?
Okay, to all Congolese, I can see some fanatic of Tshisekedi, trying to to say that I don't understand, or blah 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 blah. This is my take, man. Let's stop being fanatics. Let's stop sometimes taking sides of politicians. Let's be for Congo. Let's not take. Of course, let's be against those who are trying to invade our country, take over our country, killing our people, replace us. Those one, of course, for all means, we need to be against them, and I am for that. But when it comes to a politician, we need to hold them accountable. Be it Felix Tshisekedi, I'll hold him accountable. I'll say what is good he has done, but his mistakes, I'll put it among us Congolese. Be it Joseph Kabila, whom I normally call Joseph Kanambe, I will say what a lot of wrong he did to us. But if there is anything of positive which he did, I'm not gonna be shy to say it and to accept it. That's the only way we can heal our country. If we are partisan, we will lose a lot. We have a lot to lose by being partisan. But by being truthful and honest, we will gain a lot, and we will rebuild our country. Congo will be that country which is destined to be the true heart of Africa, or the nucleus of melanated people.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you, thank you. All right. So thank you for coming on the show and expressing your views today. I am
thank you,
with
my
the
sister.
Congo people, and I will definitely send you an email so we
Thank you.
can continue to educate the rest of the continent.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.
All right, my people. Thank you so much to the brother who came and expressed himself. This is needed. All these conversations are needed. All right, my people. So let me go into KinyaRwanda, and then so that we can continue to talk about it. I think we have had enough of the English today. All right, my people, let's jump straight into KinyaRwanda. I don't know if we're going to bother with the French today, but we can jump straight into the KinyaRwanda. Thank you. Murakoze, murakoze, my people. Tugere mu KinyaRwanda. Mbaza se ninde ufite igitabo gishyashya. Cyageze kuri Amazon muri pre-order. Murahari se cyangwa murahari? Studio y'ubururu murabibona ko yari irimo imacinga n'igitabo gishyashya se gifite amakureri ya bleu. Ubu nkeneye imyenda ya bleu kira show. My people, karibu rero hano muri komenti ndababona murahari studio nshyashya iracyanyuzura iracyanyuzura ndi kujya kubona nkabona ibintu birikubye najya muri komenti nkazibura najya kureba kuri nuza nkababona ubu se ibi ni ibiki koko Afsana K ndakubona nuko ubu rero tugeze nko muri topic ya sanction muribuka ko ubushize kuri show twari dufite David Himbara fiance wansabye officially kuri kamera umwanditsi w'ibitabo hano arimo avuga nyine ati sanction kuri KAGAMISTAN atahubwo ntago zihagije none mwebwe ibya sanction murabivugaho iki igitangaje rero ni ukubona abantu b'intore barimo barira ngo KAGAMISTAN ngo bayihaye sanction none wongewe nkavuga ariko se murarira ko mwari mwaratubwiye ko u Rwanda urabona ukuntu abanyarwanda intore zirirwa zibyina ngo Rwanda itajengwa na nani vijana ngo Rwanda itajengwa na sisi wenyewe hanyuma nyuma yo kuririmba ngo Rwanda itajengwa na nani bagahindukira bakajya gusabiriza muri bamatse ibihugu bakagira igihugu gitunzwe n'imfashanyo igihugu gitunzwe n'imyenda kandi barikirimo kuririmba ngo ni twebwe barimo baririmba muzehe wacu ni wowe none muzehe wacu ni wowe bamufatiye sanction abanyarwanda intore zirimo zirarira kuri Twitter zirimo zirapostinga nya badufatiye ibihano daboro kuki mwari mutunzwe n'imfashanyo zabo mutunzwe n'udufaranga twabo mutunzwe n'imyenda yabo hanyuma mwarangiza mugahindukira mukirata ikindi kandi KAGAMISTAN yasenye abanyarwanda imakinga sure ko abanyarwanda bose bakena bagakeneshwa ku buryo n'uwihingiye imyaka bayirandura kubera iki kubera ko KAGAMISTAN aho kugira ngo ikorere abanyarwanda ivuga uti aba nibo bantunze nibo bampemba ni nabo bantora nibo bankize ku butegetsi reka da yashyizwe ku butegetsi na bamatse ibihugu nibo bamutunze budget ye asenyera abanyarwanda akarandura imyaka y'abanyarwanda kubera iki kuko yizeye ko bamatse ibihugu bazamuha amafaranga bakamuha imyenda bakamuha imfashanyo noneho agakoresha iyo myenda agakoresha izo mfashanyo mu gukandagira ku banyarwanda mu gukandamiza abanyarwanda none izo mfashanyo yajyaga abakandagiraho abakandagizaho bamukupiye umuriro n'amazi none intore aho kugira ngo zibaze muzehe wacu ziti kuki ari ku bundi utunzwe na bamatse ibihugu kuki uwundi ubeshejweho n'imyenda yabo kuki ubeshejweho no kujya gushoza intambara mu bihugu by'abandi no gusahura abandi kuki ubeshejweho no kwica no kwiba aho kugira ngo bagire accountability nk'uko uyu mukongore ari kuvuga ati accountability ati turabaza perezida wacu ibibazo nubwo bwose twaba tumusapotinga ngo atsinde ariko turamukweshoninga abanyarwanda bo iyo mentalite ntibashobora kuyigira bo baracyafana ngo muzehe wabo hanyuma bari kuri social media bakomplaininga ngo bamatse ibihugu babandi bitaga utuzungu barimo bararira ngo utuzungu twabakupiye imfashanyo ibyo ni ibiki kandi bari baratubwiye ngo Rwanda itajengwa na nani vijana Muteba Chiramwina ati narindi Kinshasa muri 2000 ati kandi nongeye kujya Kinshasa na Lubumbashi muri 2023 ati kuntu igihugu cyari kimeze hagati ya Fatshi na kanambiye kuri Kongo biratandukanye nuko momo ati ofusana oya Muteba agomba kunyuraho akabimbwira neza kuko ntibisanzwe momo bizu ndakubona Muteba Chira Mwina ati you and I talk show, well done for the book. Nikos, iki gitabo se murimo murakibona, Imana East. Imana East. Ndi kujyana abantu mu ishuri nk'uko navuze nigize mwarimu, nzabigisha spiritualite, mbereke connection hagati y'ibihugu byacu na civilisation kemet, noneho mbigishe n'amategeko y'Imana, uburenganzira duhabwa n'ubumana bwacu. Reba titre ngo no thy divine rights, menya uburenganzira uhabwa n'ubumana. My people, iki gitabo ni icyo kuvana abantu mu bucakara, bihereye mu bucakara bwo mu mutwe, ubutindi ku mutima tuzabuvura. My people, nabavugutiye umuti ngushyira mu gitabo. Babandi ngo muri humanitarian intervention, iyi ni humanitarian intervention. Abandi ngo ni aba humanist, ngewe navuze nti twebwe ngewe ndumu Imana East. My people, philosophy. Iki gitabo kizaba bestseller international. Sha, maze imyaka mbavuga turi muti, umva ko abanyarwanda mwigenje, umva ko mwigenje. Nzaba ndeba aho muzakwepera filozofi ya Imana East, nzaba ndebera aho muzakwepera inyigisho zo kubigisha ngo menya uburenganzira. Urabona ni paraporo y'uburenganzira bw'ikiremwa muntu. Uburenganzira bw'ikiremwamana buva mu bumana bwawe, uburenganzira umuntu adashobora kugutwara ni ubuhe? Bishingiye kuki? Bikomoka hehe? Noneho rero nkanabasobanurira n'iriya bita ngo art, nkabasobanurira Imana philosophically scientifically. No, my people, iki gitabo kabisa nabavugutiye umuti kandi uri hafi kubageraho. Rero abafite ibingibi ngo bya QR code, muscanning iyo QR code irahita ibajyana kuri Amazon. Abasoma ebooks, kiri already available muri pre-order as a ebook. Hanyuma abasoma paperback nkanjye ni ugutegereza paperback. Nuko murakoze. Muteba Chira Mwina arakomeje ati Joseph Kabila kanambiye kuri Kongo, yayoboye nabi kandi akora brassage mixage aho abasirikare na RPF binjiye mu gisirikare cya Kongo. Nibyo kabisa, Kabila yagiye ku buyobozi ari nkaho afite misiyo yo gusenya igisirikare cya Kongo, kugira ngo Kongo itazigera na rimwe izuka hanyuma ngo yidefande contre KAGAMISTAN. Urumva se ikintu kibabaje ni ukubona KAGAMISTAN, umuntu w'umunyabwenge, n'u Rwanda rufite igisirikare n'abantu bita abanyabwenge, bakoresha ubwenge bwabo barimo mbega basabota the rest of Africa, basabota abandi banyafurika, aho kugira ngo u Rwanda rukoreshe ubwenge bwabo rudefanda Afurika, rutuma umunyafurika azamuka ajya hejuru. U Rwanda rugakoresha ubwenge bwabo rusenya abandi banyafurika. Rero ndashimira Imana ko nageze kuri iyi filozofi, noneho nkaba ngiye gukoresha ubwenge bwanjye n'amashuri yanjye n'impano zanjye, ndimo nsapotinga justice, ndimo nsapotinga freedom, kandi ndeba Afurika yose kugera naho, reba nk'uyu mujene w'umukongore ati ndashaka umuntu ujya kutuvugira. Ibaze umukongore kwicara akavuga ati ndashaka umuntu ujya kutuvugira, akantekereza we. Ibaze mu gihe tugeze muri epoke aho abakongore bavuga ati abanyarwanda 00000 kabisa. Urumva rero ibyo rero ni ibintu bihera muri spiritualite y'umuntu no muri filozofi y'umuntu. Ubundi abantu benshi bakambaza bati ese Louise ukuraho imbaraga zo guhora wibereye mu mahoro uri kwisekera? Bana rero nabavugutiye umuti, byose mbibashyirira mu gitabo. I'll be able to tell you everything you will know. Momo atirize nawe kamata urubizu kamata kabisa afsana kei ati momo urumva igitwenge cya Louise babahe babahe momo I see you ati afsana ati momo w'insigana na muteba waraye ndamukurikira momo ntawasi turagukunda naho ubutaha burije afsana kei ati yo positive vibes thank you my people igitabo cyanjye cya mbere mwibuke ko cyitwaga The Nightmare of a Positive Vision nari naragize positive vision ariko kugira positive vision yanjye bigahinduka nightmare kuko nagize positive vision ndi umunyarwanda noneho ndi surrounded n'abantu b'abafana ba KAGAMISTAN binsaba ko ngomba guhaguruka nkiyopoza kuri KAGAMISTAN nkiyopoza kuri bene wacu bose nkiyopoza ku nshuti zanjye zose ngakurikira filozofi gusa ariko uyu munsi it's paying kuko murabibona neza ko KAGAMISTAN iri guhirima kandi mu bazaba barayifashije kwihirika kuko niyo ubwayo yihiritse niyo ubwayo yagiye muri Kongo ishoza intambara ijya kumara abantu ijya kwiba rero niyo ubwayo yihiritse ariko ndi mu bazaba barayifashije kwihirika kubera kuyivugiriza induru make some noise none se iyo kera babonaga umujura bavuzaga induru ariko abanyarwanda b'iki gihe basigaye babona umujura w'umwicanyi bagaceceka bakaruca bakarumira rero my people bizanshimisha cyane kuzamenyekana nko kuzaba muri umwe mu bantu bafashije KAGAMISTAN kwihirika kimwe rero mu byamfashije ni iyi filozofi yanjye nabashyiriye mu gitabo byahereye ku gitabo cya mbere aricyo cyasobanuriraga na positive vision nyine na positive vibes hakurikiraho igitabo cya kabiri nakurikijeho cyo gufasha abandi nabo bashaka kwandika amateka yabo kwandika tout simplement igitabo cya kabiri cyitwa The Rightist War is Right urumva bihereye kuri The Nightmare of a Positive Vision bigeze muri The Rightist War is Right kwandika ni intambara ubu noneho finally na graduatinze naje kuvuga my philosophy no gufasha abandi ni menya know thy divine rights do you know your divine rights hari uncle Kaga wa KAGAMISTAN umaze iminsi avuga ngo he doesn't know ngo there's a lot of things he doesn't know my people rero nanjye there's a lot of things that I don't know ariko I know the law the divine law the ma'at and I know our divine rights and I'm sharing with you so you know your divine rights kubera ko once you know your divine rights ntushobora gufobagana ntushobora kuba umucakara mu mutwe ntushobora kuba umutindi ku mutima my people kuko urabgradinga ukazamuka ugahinduka imana imana East rero aba yibereyeho mu mahoro no mu munezero niyo KAGAMISTAN yaba iri kugurumana my people mukomere cyane ariko hano bakundanye ndabikunda cyane hari abantu babindanye hano muri comment niko mwamenye se ko David Himbara nanjye yampropoje muri last show Eric K komera cyane pin the book title here please I can't read it on my little phone thank you yeah so book title nyine nk'uko mubibona ni Imana East reka mbibandikire Imana East hanyuma subtitle ikaba Know Thy Divine Rights murazizi cyane murazizi Imana East yo Know Thy Divine Rights bihereye kuri iriya ese reka tujye kuri ntuza we reka tujye kuri Amazon reka dusure tujye kuri Amazon ntibereke aho cyageze kuri Amazon already dore ni gutya mvisita Amazon mpereye kuri website yanjye uwacu.com noneho hariho link ijya kuri Amazon ubwo ugahita igwa kuri authors page dore rero hano kuri authors page hariho ibitabo byanjye byose dore ngo babishyizeho by popularity ubwo icya mbere nibaza ko aricyo kikiri most popular icya kabiri cyari iki ngiki the relativist war is right and then the latest my people aricyo iki ngiki Imana East no thy divine rights nyine rero nk'uko mubibona bigendera kuri filosofi yo kuvuga ngo muhora mwumva bavuga ngo abami n'abamikazi ngo bafite ngo divine right ngo bafite some divine right hanyuma se twebwe yuwe n'ay'ibiti ese natwe dushobora kugira divine rights niba se tuzifite ni izihe niba se tuzifite zikomoka hehe urumva se my people rero murabibona ko cyageze kuri Amazon muri pre-order ku bari kugura nyine ebook Kindle version ikazabageraho ku itariki ya 7 kwa kundi nyine muri juye abantu bose bahimbye amatariki yabo yo kwibohoza ubu rero nanjye itariki ya 7 roseti juye nayihaye ubu ni yanjye ni liberation day spiritual liberation day yacu urumva se kera cyane tuzayigira national holiday ibe spiritual liberation day yacu urumva se nuko rero my people iyi filozofi n'iyi savoir ubumenyi bw'umwuka biri mu bintu byatumye nyine mbasha kujya muri resistance nyine contre nyine KAGAMISTAN urumva se ariko shaho hano hari studio nshyashya iracyari nyuzura abantu ubu si ni ibiki noneho studio nshyashya ikomeje kunyuzura ariko ni gutyo byifashe nyine komedi rero ndi kuzibona umva nanjye ngo komedi comments ndi kuzibona dore na ya titre mwari murimo mumbaza dore niyo ngiyo ijambo Imana nimwibaza ariko imyaka yose maze nsinya buri gihe ngo #Imana none no muri titre y'igitabo nagejejemo Imana East urumva se nk'uko hanze ahangaha hari abantu ngo bamwe ni abakristianiste islamiste judaiste tusara ubu natwe rero tuzagira abayimanayiste filozofi yacu ubumenyi bwacu ku byerekeye Imana urumva se umuntu afite ubu bumenyi aba free ashobora kubaka na civilization kuko ngewe naracukumbuye ndavuga ni buhe bumenyi abasekuruza bacu bari bafite bwatumye bubaka civilization urumva ngewe iriya civilization yo muri Kemeti iranyenspira bya hatari rero nakoze research ndavuga ni ubuhe bumenyi bari bafite bwatumye bubaka civilization ikomeye bigeze hariya kuko murabibona ko dukeneye kuzuka nk'abanyarwanda noneho tukagira n'ubumenyi bwatuma twubaka civilization iyo civilization kandi yubatse ku mategeko yubatse ku mahoro izatanga ubutabera iyo filozofi rero izatuma tuba civilize tukubaka civilization ni iyihe ni filozofi y'abasekuruza bacu. Dushobora kuba inspire par abasekuruza bacu aho kuba inspire mu Bashinwa, mu Banyaburayi, muri Amerika. Iyi ni inspiration mu basekuruza bacu kuko ni nabo bantu bubatse civilization zikibasumba. Civilization yaruta civilization ya ancient Egypt ntayo. Ancient Egypt niyo the best civilization. Rero iyo civilization yari civilization y'Abanyafurika. Abo Banyafurika rero barimwe muri bo bari Abanyarwanda. Nibaza ko bizafasha Abanyarwanda cyane kwibona positivement. En fait, positivation, my positivation hari harimo no kugerageza gushaka ikintu cyatuma Abanyarwanda bibona positivement ariko badaciye mu bwoko badaciye mu bwoko. Iki kintu rero, iki gitabo cyanjye kizanafasha n'Abanyarwanda kuva mu by'amoko, noneho no gukunda amoko yose, no kubona ko amoko yose yari muri ancient Kemet. Abitwa abatwa narababeretse muri ancient Kemet. Can you imagine? Abatwa muri ancient Kemet narababeretse, Abahutu narababeretse, Abatutsi narababeretse, ku buryo n'izi complexe bamwe bibwira ngo bagomba gutegeka, abandi bakibwira ko ari abacakara n'iki byose, n'izi complexe n'ibibazo biri muri societe nyarwanda bizaba elimine. My people, ubu bumenyi ni ubumenyi generation after generation z'Abanyarwanda zizakunda, kubera ko olala nabashyiriyemo ubumenyi ku bumenyi. Nuko rero sanctions kurya ni ukwishyura. Niba ngibi KAGAMISTAN iri gufatirwa sanctions, nabyo biri mu mategeko ya divine y'Imana. Urumva se, n'abasekuruza bari barabivuze ngo ukora icyiza ukagisanga imbere. Impamvu KAGAMISTAN uyu munsi iri gufatirwa ibihano, n'impamvu bari kuyisanctioninga, ni ukubera ko yakoze ibibi, yakoze amahano. Rero iyo ukoze ibibi, iyo ukoze amahano, nubwo wakwibwira, KAGAMISTAN izatubera isomo, nubwo wakwibwira ngo njyewe sinkeneye Abanyarwanda, nzabakandamiza mbakandagire hejuru, mbabuze amahoro, ukize wese munyage. None uyu munsi nawe ibyo yakoreye Abanyarwanda byo kubakandamiza, byo kubakandagira hejuru, byo kubanyaga, nawe arimo kubikorerwa. Ukora icyiza ukagisanga imbere. KAGAMISTAN arimo arafata umusaruro w'ibibi byose yakoze. Urumva se? Rero ibyo nabyo biri mu mategeko. Ni isomo rikomeye cyane ku Banyarwanda. Ikindi kandi yari yubatse ku musenyi, kuko aho kugira ngo yubake kuri iyi savoir ancestrale, yubatse ku bintu by'amoko, yubatse ngo ndi Umunyarwanda, yubaka ku Batutsi, ngibyo drama ngo z'Abanyamulenge, ngo ibiki n'ibiki. Ibyo byose ni umusenyi. Ntago dushobora kubaho tutubatse ku mategeko, tutubatse ku butabera, tutubatse ku kuri. Ibyo nibyo bizana amahoro, nibyo bizana prosperity. Rero ibi byose ni amasomo akomeye cyane. My people rero, kuri uyu munsi ngo witirirwa ngo umunsi w'abategarugori, kabisa nishimiye ko kuzaba mu bategarugori bazandikwa mu mateka, bazavuga ko basigiye ubumenyi n'urukundo Abanyarwanda. Uru ni urukundo kuko nafashe imyaka ndabasomera ibitabo, ndangije mbandikira ibitabo. Urwo ni urukundo. Nasubiye mu mateka y'u Rwanda ya kera cyane. Ureka ibyo kuvuga ngo u Rwanda rwavutse muri 94. Fini. Rero izi sanctions zigomba kubaho kuko niwo musaruro wa KAGAMISTAN, arazikwiye, birakwiye kandi biratunganye, arazimerita kuko ni umujenosideri, yagiye muri Kongo amara abantu, ariba. Izi sanctions zirakwiye kandi ziratunganye. Ikindi kandi niba abantu bagomba kubaho ari independent, mwibuke ko abasekuruza bacu ba kera ntago babagaho babeshejweho n'imyenda n'imfashanyo za Matsibihugu. Kuba bamatse ibihugu babaha imyenda bakabaha n'imfashano kugeza aho ari bo babatunze, noneho umunsi bavuze bati turabakupiye, mukajegajega mukarira mukavuza induru ngo bamatse ibihugu babakupiye. Ibyo n'ubucakara mu mutwe ni n'ubutindi ku mutima, kuko ntabwo bamatse ibihugu bagombye kugira power yo kubasha kubakupira umuriro. Noneho rero ngo babakupira umuriro ngo namwe murekere aho kubaho. Niba bamatse ibihugu bafite iyo power yo kudukupira umuriro n'amazi kandi tukajegajega, ibyo bigomba kurangira. Tugomba kuzasubira muri etape aho abanyarwanda babasha kwitunga, bakabasha kugira real economic success, abanyarwanda bari i Rwanda bagakira, umuyobozi akarespekta abanyarwanda bizi ko aribo bamushyizeho, ko aribo bamuhemba, aho kugira ngo umuyobozi abeho akandagiza abanyarwanda, akandamira abanyarwanda, abishongoraho kuko azi ko atunzwe na bamatse ibihugu. Yarangiza kandi one day mu gihe bamatse ibihugu bitakibaranja muri politike zabo, cyangwa se mu gihe bashatse kumwishwitura bavuga ati uriya muntu ni umukrimineri, bakamuboyikota, bakamusankshona, bakamuhirika, bakamukura ku butegetsi. Tugomba gusubira kuri etape aho bamatse ibihugu batabasha guhindura ubutegetsi i Rwanda. Tuzabisubiraho dute? Twifortifiya, dusubira mu kwishakamo ibyiza no kwishakamo ibisubizo, no kugira abayobozi b'imfura n'inyangamugayo barespekta abanyarwanda kandi babizi neza ko batunzwe n'imisoro y'abanyarwanda, kandi ko ari muri intere yabo yuko abanyarwanda bakora bagakira bari i Rwanda, kugira ngo igihugu kibashe kwihagararaho, kugira ngo ntihagire umuntu ugira ububasha n'ubushobozi bwo kugihana ngo gihirime. Urumva se my people? Niko igihe kinini rero twakibaze mu cyongereza, reka turangize nsomye twa komenti zanyu hanyuma turangize, naho ubundi turaye hano kabisa, kandi show nini ndende cyane yabaye mu cyongereza. Afsana ati kubinda David Himbara umugeni wacu, nikoze mwantanze se basaza banjye bari he ngo muze mubyitambikemo? Yo mugomba kuza nka basaza banjye mukabyitambikamo. Urumva se mpaka bazanye inka n'ihene byose kira kiti wacu, mugomba kubyitambikamo mpaka. Ati kubinda mberuka turi inyuma y'imiyenzi. Yo kera shaho twarabindanaga, hanyuma se muribuka agaterime ko gufunga inguni? Ngo ibyana byafunganye inguni. Dore Afsana yahise abivuga we neza neza, dore ngibi Afsana ati Buteba agiye kubindana mberuka tuvuye muri refectoire nijoro ku ishuri twafunze inguni. Yo muribuka ibintu byo gufungana inguni? Nuko abantu bagafunga inguni hanyuma bakaturisha n'imibu, hanyuma si byo kurisha imibu byo murabizi. Afsana ati gusa arimo arabwira Muteba Ciramwina ati gusa pre nahise njya mu babikira mbura abo dufungana inguni. Pole sana. Ababikira se ntibafungana inguni n'abafureri? Ati ndabyibutse maseri masuwera. Ariko mana yanjye. Muteba Ciramwina ati Afsana Lemigez ati wize ku Nyundo cyangwa mu by'Imana? What? Ati no. Afsana ati nize esi Rwamagana. My people mukomere cyane. Ngo ni ibiki se muri budiritingi? Afsana ati batureke duhinga ibirayi n'ibijumba, ntituzongere guhinga indabo n'imikindo. Ntiwumva bakaza mu gihugu bagasenya abahinzi n'aborozi kandi aribo babatunze we, kubera ko ngo bibwira ko bazabaho bamatse ibihugu. Bagafata imirima yahingwagamo ibiryo kugira ngo abantu bitunge ntibazigere bicwa n'inzara, bagafata ngo bagiye guhingamo indabyo zo kugira gute, zo kujya gucuruza bamatse ibihugu. Umunsi bamatse ibihugu babakupiye, bagafunga imipaka, bakabakupira umuriro n'amazi, bakabafatira ibihano, izo ndabyo muzazirya. Hanyuma na ba banyarwanda mwakandagiye hejuru, mwabujije kubaho kugira ngo bitunge, urumva se noneho bamatse ibihugu babakupire kugira ngo population yanyu igire inzara. Population yanyu nigira inzara yirevolte ibavudukane manipulation ku yindi levels. Rero ariko KAGAMISTAN kuko ari abacakara mu mutwe n'abatindi ku mutima ntibigeze bafata neza abanyarwanda, ntibigeze bashaka gukiza umunyarwanda no gukiza u Rwanda kugira ngo u Rwanda rubeho rukize n'abanyarwanda babeho bakize, ku buryo niyo amahanga yabafatira sanction ntibigire icyo bibakoraho. Muhame hamwe rero babahane, nimwe mwabahaye ubwo bubasha bwo kubahana, none iyo uhaye umuntu ububasha arabukoresha. Rero bigomba kuzasaba ko tuzageraho igihe u Rwanda rushobora kuzitunga nk'uko kera abasekuruza babagaho bitunze. None se kera ubundi abasekuruza babagaho bategereje imfashanyo n'inguzanyo, hanyuma abazungu bakupa imfashanyo n'inguzanyo bakarira bakajya kuri Twitter ngo baratwanga badukupiye imfashanyo. Nta n'isoni zo kujya kurira ngo babakupiye imfashanyo. Abacakara mu mutwe batindi ku mutima. Ahubwo nimwibaza impamvu bafite iyo power yo kubakupira, nuko mwari abacakara mu mutwe muri abatindi ku mutima. Rero KAGAMISTAN yihaye kujya kuba umucakara wa bamatsi ibihugu, igafasha bamatsi ibihugu kumara abanyafurika kugira ngo bayifate bayitereke ku butegetsi, noneho nyuma yo kubutereka ku butegetsi ikishongora ku banyarwanda ikabakandagira hejuru ngo kubera ko ifata imfashanyo n'inguzanyo za bamatsi ibihugu, none matsi ibihugu yabakupiye. Awa nibyo mumerita muhame hamwe rero babahane, kandi twarabahanuriye mwanga kubyumva, none se murashaka iki? inguni Amutebashira mwina ati hari ikibazo mu bajepe ngo abasore barimo gufungwa cyane, bamwe bakorera fast lady, Kagame banza yatangiye gufuha. Ubu ngubu KAGAMISTAN arimo arikeka buri muntu wese, kuko murabizi neza ko azahanurwa na bene wabo. Nta kuntu rero ataba ariho yikeka buri muntu wese. Ikindi kandi bene wabo barabizi neza ko KAGAMISTAN yahirimye, ko amahanga ari kumunyaga, ko ari kumuboyikota ahashoboka hose. Buriya abazi ubwenge mu ba insider be barimo bavuga bati tumwikize yenda tubone ko twabaho, tubone ko twasavayivinga. Buriya rero nawe bari kumupangira kugira ngo aka kamasa kazamara inka kazivukamo kazimare, barimo barashaka ukuntu bakazirika on the inside, bakakazirika nabo, urumva se? mukomere cyane, nta kintu kibi mwavuze hano rwose kizasibika rwose, Afsana ati Louise, mu Rwanda bakoreye abanyarwanda jenoside yitwa Holodomor, do you know about it? Oya nsobanuriraho gatoya, ntago mbyumvishe neza, ntago nzi icyo bishatse kuvuga. Binsobanurire kabisa. Nuko Muteba Chiramwina ati Afsana ati Holodomor yari inzara yo muri USSR, URSS na Ukraine yishe amamiliyoni. Icyo ni cya gihe se babaga bari kwicwa n'amamiliyoni n'inzara, hanyuma kandi bagahindukira bakishyura abapropagandisiti bo kubakorera propaganda, noneho n'abantu bajya kubasura bakabereka ngo ahantu heza, kumbe baterekana ko abaturage bari kwicwa n'inzara mu bihe bya ba Staline na ba Lenine. I see what you're talking about. Ntiwumva KAGAMISTAN abanyarwanda bari basanzwe bicwa n'inzara, ariko KAGAMISTAN tugiye kubona niba justement ishobora no gusavayivinga sanctions, kubera ko mwibuke muti Uburundi bigeze ku busanctioning, ntago mwibuka se aya mahanga yose afata sanction ku Burundi, none se kuki Uburundi bwasavayivinze sanction? Uburundi bwasavayivinze sanction first and foremost kubera ko byibuze i Burundi bashobora kwitunga muri agriculture, ntago abarundi bagenda mu baturage ngo barandure imyaka y'abaturage, ni ukuvuga ngo byibuze abarundi ntibashobora kwicwa n'inzara, ariko abanyarwanda bo bashobora kwicwa n'inzara kuko KAGAMISTAN yadistroyinze ubuhinzi, yudistroyinze, ni ukuvuga ngo abagaburiraga igihugu yarabadistroyinze, none se yumva yubatse ku musenyeri mu kirere, urumva se nk'abantu baba muri ya za apartment nyine za penthouse muri aya mabuilding, ariko ntibamenye ko ibiryo barya biva mu murima, bagasabota abantu bo mu murima ngo kuko baba muri za buildings bakajya gushopinga muri supermarket, ntago bazi ko ibiryo biva mu murima. KAGAMISTAN rero nabo bafashe nabi abanyarwanda, ukize wese bakamunyaga kugira ngo abantu batanabasha no kwikorera no kwibeshaho muri icyo gihugu. None abo bamatse ibihugu mwajyaga mwizeraho imfashanyo n'iki byose bagize. Umva rero trick ngo ugiye kubaho, mwumve trick mbahe insider information namenye muri KAGAMISTAN. Mwabonye ko bafite n'abaguverineri bashyashya ba za banke n'iki byose. Rero KAGAMISTAN murabona ko yibye amafaranga menshi y'abanyarwanda, urumva se, donc niwe wiba amafaranga y'abanyarwanda, yarangiza kandi akajya kuyahisha, sinzi iyo yahisha, ariko murabizi za Panama Papers namwe murabizi. Rero ubu ngubu kubera ko bafatiye ibihano KAGAMISTAN, bagiye kumekinga sure ko nta mafaranga afite, mwibuke ya ntambara igomba kurwanwa kuri level eshatu 3M, M money, M media, M military, ubu barimo baramwataka muri M y'amafaranga. Noneho rero ngo agiye gukora itekinika ku buryo afata amafaranga we yari yaribye akayashyira muri banke nationale kugira ngo yerekane nk'aho u Rwanda rufite something we, kugira ngo noneho babashe guhanyanyaza ka serumu ko kugira ngo babashe kubaho, babashe byibuze no kwishyura n'abakozi bamwe na bamwe. Otherwise KAGAMISTAN barayikupira umuriro n'amazi kugira ngo abantu nibicwa n'inzara bigaragambye kuri ubwo butegetsi, kandi ubwo butegetsi bugomba guhirima from the inside. KAGAMISTAN rero mu rwego rwo kurwana na sanction aragira ngo afate udufaranga yari yaribye atuzane byibuze muri banke nationale, noneho yerekane ko afite something muri banke nationale, igihugu gikomeze cyoperatingeho gatoya ahanyanyaze. Ikibazo rero nuko bazamukupira umuriro n'amazi, noneho bagatuma na twa dufaranga yari yaribye yarahishe natwo twose atuzana turya, and then slowly by slowly nkuko twababwiye bazamunyaga. By the time bazamufata akamasa bakaziritse bagashyikirije amategeko, azaba ari broke, sinzi n'umwavoka azabona wo kumuburanira, azakuraho amafaranga yo kugira abavoka. Hanyuma rero ubwo intore zamye zimusingiza, zimwongeza, zimushuka, zimubeshya ngo ni wowe ni wowe ni wowe, ubwo ahubwo intore icyo nababwira ni ugutangira mugakora fundraising y'amafaranga y'ukuntu mbega muzajya mujya kugaburira ako kaga umunsi bamuziritse, hanyuma n'ukuntu muzamudefanda muri ntuza muri legal case, hazaba akeneye ko mumudefanda muri legal case. Ngaho ahubwo mutangire mumukorere fundraising yo kumushakira amafaranga azamudefanda we niba koko mumukunda. Afsanati Muteba kuriya barandura imyaka y'abantu sort of holodomor, kubuza abantu guhinga ibyo bashaka the same. Biriya ni ubucakara, biriya ni ukwica abantu, biriya ni genocide, kuko se ufashe umuntu umubujije kwitunga, umubujije kurya, yitereye n'imyaka uragiye urayiranduye, ni ukuvuga ngo urimo uramwica kandi urashaka ko yicwa n'inzara kuko nta kindi cyamutungaga, niba rero umuntu nta kindi cyamutungaga ukagenda ukabirandura ubu mwishe kubera ko niba abantu ari abahinzi ukagenda ukarandura imyaka yabo ubu bishe ni nka kwa kundi niba abantu ari aborozi bafite inka ukagenda ukica inka yabo ubu bishe rero abantu b'abagome n'abagambanya bacakara mu mutwe n'abatindi ku mutima baragenda akica inka y'umuntu abamwisha abamuhohoteye abamwifurije gupfa na KAGAMISTAN nayo ikagenda ikarandura imyaka y'abantu ibi bishe ibabohoteye ibi bifurije gupfa KAGAMISTAN imaze imyaka n'imyaka yica abanyarwanda none irimo irafatirwa ibihano igomba guhanwa afusana rero ibi ngibi uvuga nibyo kurandura imyaka y'abantu ni jenoside ni jenoside silencieux silence afusana komera cyane Muteba Kiramwina ati afusana can break you and lead you niko bafata abantu babicisha inzara bakabategeka ibyo bahinga esclavage iyo ni slavery ni ubucakara ni jenoside afusana arakomeje ati natwe mu Rwanda bariya imbwa n'amara y'inkoro for the first time mu gihugu ati hari abantu bariye imbwa n'amara for the first time mu gihugu kubera inzara urumva ukuntu abantu bica abantu ati bariye uko ni ukwica abantu silent genocide nuko ati ntukabe nka dogiteri bizi inkotanyi na dusingize inkotanyi bariya babizi inkotanyi se Rutaremara ba Kabarebe ese Rutaremara ko atabaye sanctioned we Rutaremara aba yicecekeye Kabarebe wajya agasohoka akatwibwirira udustori akatwibwirira ibya killing machine niwe bahereyeho basanctioning atako kantu ko gushyira amafaranga yo muri beneri ni ingenzi wallahi ati kuva yahagarika genocide akoza kandi gashya itekinika kuko agomba kwihagararaho akerekana ko rero udufaranga twose yibye abanyarwanda natugarure ubundi abanyarwanda bagombye kuba bari kumubaza bati zanayo wibye tuyagabane tuyasangire kuko ni hahandi barimo barakunyaga bagufatiye ibihano hakurikijeho kukuzirika bakaguhirika ayo mafaranga ntuzayapfana ntuzayajyana ntibazayaguhambana ushatse rero wayazana abanyarwanda nabo bakayiriraho rero ngo ari kuyashyira muri beneri ngo kugira ngo yerekane ko nayazane rero ayasubiza abanyarwanda kuko ni hahandi yari yarayibye abanyarwanda afusana ati gusa ntazatubere nka mironko uri kujya mu rukiko ngo yagurije amafaranga leta ya Habyarimana twarangiriza kuri iyo kesi ariko vrema ibaza donc bizaba bivuga ko yagurije amafaranga leta ya Habyarimana se bigeze batangaza bati leta ikeneye abantu bayaguriza ni mutugurize noneho cyangwa se hari igihe mvuga ni tubizi dute ko atari diri bagiranye hagati yabo y'abantu bo mu kazu bakadukorera itekinika ngo agurije amafaranga leta ngo leta izamwishyura yayegurije se hari habayeho appel d'offre ngo ni mutugurize yayagurije iyo diri yayumvikanyeho nande bigeze babwira abaturage bati dore umukire kanaka abagurije amafaranga cyangwa ni diri bagiranye hagati yabo mu kazu hanyuma nyine bakora itekinika kugira ngo birire amafaranga y'igihugu birire amafaranga y'abaturage bati ngo yatugurije ngo miliyoni 12 z'amadolari we narayibonye iyo kesi ngo yagurije ngo leta ya Habyarimana ngo miliyoni 12 z'amadolari ibaze miliyoni 12 z'amadolari icyo gihe ubu ni nko kuguriza miliyoni 50 cyangwa 100 leta dukurikije ko ibintu byikubye donc yari umukire bigezaho afite na miliyoni 12 zo kugurira leta ariko se ninde wabyemeye ninde wemeye uwo mwenda noneho kandi ngo n'amafaranga yo kugura imbunda, yo kugura intwaro, bivuge ngo abanyarwanda nibo biguriye intwaro zo kubica. Izo ntwaro se zakoze iki ko zakoze kwica abaturage? Ibaze donc ngo abanyarwanda nibishyure umuntu wagiranye diri atabivuze muri paroma, atabivuze ku mugaragaro ko agiye kuguriza abanyarwanda. Abanyarwanda nibishyure kandi ayo mafaranga yakoreshejwe mu kugura intwaro zo kwica abanyarwanda. Hanyuma kandi uwo Mironko nyuma yo kugura intwaro zo kwica abanyarwanda kuri leta ya Habyarimana, arakomeza akorana na leta ya KAGAMISTAN ayifasha kubaho ikandamije abanyarwanda. Can you imagine? Arashaka ko abanyarwanda bamwishyura ibyo byose. Ariko abanyarwanda ye. Oya bizajye ku mugaragaro, bivugane ku mugaragaro, maze turebe, atubwire n'uwo muntu bagiranye diri, atubwire paroma yabyemeye, nuko naho ubundi ntabwo abanyarwanda bazasabwa kwishyura intwaro zabishe ku myenda bahawe batanabizi ko iyo myenda bayifashe. Ibyo bintu ni ibintu byagombye guca muri paroma. Hanyuma kandi niba uri umucuruzi ukinvestisha, ugakora wrong investment, ukaguriza umuntu utabasha kukwishyura amafaranga, hanyuma ukaruzinga, you have to accept your loss. Wagurije leta, waruzinze, leta yatsinzwe, waruzinze, accept the loss. Hano ngo harimo n'ingengabitekerezo ngo ibiki n'ibiki, ati inzoka niyo ifite tekinikari muteba ngo bagiye kugushyira muri prison. Mahoro nyoni nyinshi, karibu bizu, mahoro nyoni nyinshi, karibu sana. Ati Madame Louise, abazungu ni ibisambo, ari amafaranga Pilato yahishe mu bazungu ntazayarya natwe bazaduha. Abazungu bazayifunga kimwe n'uko amafaranga ya Mobutu na Kadafi abazungu bayifunze. Exactly. Baraza abayobozi b'abacakara mu mutwe n'abatindi ku mutima, agakandamiza abanyarwanda, akabishongoraho, akabasabota, akabanyaga, akabarondorera imyaka, yarangiza ibyo asahuye byose akajya kubihisha muri ba Mpatsibihugu. Hanyuma one day bati turabiriye, kandi ntushobora kujya kurekrama. Ujya kurekrama hehe se kandi ari ibyo wari waribye? Ni handi nayo wibye bakayakunyaga. Rero bibera isomo generation after generation, abazaba abayobozi muzabimenye ntacyo bimaze gukorera ba Mpatsibihugu, gukandamiza bene wanyu, kwigira abacakara mu mutwe n'abatindi ku mutima. Umusaruro KAGAMISTAN agiye gukuramo wo guseba ku isi yose, gufatirwa ibihano ku isi yose, bitubera isomo. Ntihazagire undi munyafurika, undi muyobozi wongera kwitwara gutya. Umunyafurika ujya kuba umucakara wa ba Mpatsibihugu, akagambanira abandi banyafurika ku buryo ba Mpatsibihugu bamukoresha, akajya kumara abandi banyafurika muri Kongo, akica miliyoni na miliyoni na miliyoni, ari gukorera ba Mpatsibihugu. Barangiza kandi bakamuhemba iki? Bakamuhemba kumwigarika, kumuhinduka, kumwandagaza no kumubamba. Nibwo bagitangira. Buretse muze muzamba mureba ibishitani bazakorera KAGAMISTAN. Afsana ati ngo ninde wariye inzoka? Yo, abanyaziya rero barazirya, zimeze nk'amafi we, ariko sinzi ko ngewe ntayirya kameme. Nanjye ndi piki bya hatari we. Nanjye ndi piki pe. Nuko nuko dukomeze. Mahoro nyoni nyinshi ati Madame Louise, Mironko yatangaga imisanzu kuri leta ya Kinani, akanatanga imisanzu mu Nkotanyi, niyo mpamvu yasubiyeyo acuruza, ntabwo bafite. Niwumva rero hamwe yaremvestishe araruzinga, ni accept your loss. Ahandi tuzaba tureba noneho ibyo se yemvestishe mu Nkotanyi. Ariko kuza akavuga ngo yagurije leta amafaranga, ngo abanyarwanda bamurimo amafaranga. Leta ni iki? Leta ni abanyarwanda. Byemewe n'abahe banyarwanda ko Mironko yagurije ngo miliyoni 12 z'amadolari y'amanyamerika abanyarwanda muri za 90 we. Byemewe, byavuzwe hehe? hanyuma kandi ngo yagiye ngo gufasha impunzi. Izo mpunzi yari arimo afasha ni bene wabo. Wibuke ko inkotanyi zari zateye zihereye muri noru y'u Rwanda. Ba Mironko bariya ni abantu bo muri noru y'u Rwanda. Ibaze inkotanyi zigatera, abo ziri gutera, abo ziri kwica ni bene wanyu, hanyuma wajya kubafasha ngo hanyuma ngo ugahe umwenda leta y'u Rwanda yo kujya gufasha bene wanyu, hanyuma kandi ukentervene ugiye gufasha impunzi wiyerekana nk'aho uri gufasha impunzi za bene wanyu mu karere kanyu aho uvukamo, hanyuma ariko ngo kera 30 years later tukazadekuvura ko ngo ari inguzanyo wari urimo uha leta, nta nubwo wari uri muri humanitarian activities. Hanyuma kandi kuko ari umucuruzi w'umuplayer agakontribuwa kwa kinani, agakontribuwa no mu nkotanyi. Hanyuma uyu munsi kumugaragara akavuga ngo yaguriye intwaro leta yitwa leta y'abajenosideri. Izo ntwaro zakoreshejwe mu kumara abanyarwanda. Niko muribuka Kabuga azira ko ngo yacuruzaga imihoro, none Mironko warajya ku mugaragaro akavuga ko ngo yagurije leta ngo hanyuma ngo ikagura intwaro. Izo ntwaro zakoreshejwe mu kwica abantu, hanyuma ntabibazwe. Akaba yumva abanyarwanda bazishyura, bazamwishyura ko yabaguriye intwaro zo kubica, nta muntu ubizi, ari diri agiranye na bene wabo bo mu kazu. Ariko ye abanyarwanda ni fake sana. Hanyuma kandi arimo aragurira leta imwe intwaro zo kwica abanyarwanda, yanakontribuye no mu nkotanyi nabyo barimo arabafasha, nabo ngo bice abanyarwanda, bafata ubutegetsi, bajye ku butegetsi, bakandamiza abanyarwanda imyaka 30. Mironko ahubwo azabibazwa ukuntu yagize contribution muri jenoside z'abanyarwanda, kuko yasapotinze abajenosideri, noneho rero akanasapotinga n'abajenosideri b'inkotanyi mu gumara abanyarwanda, abahamo contribution, akanabasapotinga mu butegetsi bwabo, kubafasha, kubaha amafaranga no kubakomeza mu gihe bari baratsinze. Hari igihe hashobora kuzaho indi leta nabo ibyo ikabimubaza. Ariko ye, ariko ngo arashaka ko abanyarwanda bamwishyura. Ibaza abanyarwanda bagomba YSL Yves Saint Laurent nari ngiye kuyihindura ngakoresha Coco Chanel, but no way, ngiye kugumana YSL. What? Yves Saint Laurent nacitswe, hano hari ibiparu. Boss lady, Absanati Blue, merci. Murabona se kuva nagira studio ya Blue, ubu ngomba gushakisha imyenda ya Blue njya nambara we. Murabona ko na my new book ari Blue and Gold. turi kumwe. Cyiza gahondesho popo bujiliri komera cyane, ati KAGAMISTAN azapfa nabi cyane, none nicyo gihembo cye. Nibyo bihembo bye, none se yapfa neza kandi yarabayeho nabi? None se umuntu apfa uko yabayeho? None se yapfa gute kundi? Umuntu wabaye umwicanyi, umujenosideri, umujura, yo muri bugakera tukiri abana, mwavuze ibyo bintu by'inguni n'iki byose. Muri bugakera ukuntu bajyaga bafata ibijura bakabikubita, we bafashe ibandi bakateranira ahantu hose bakamukubita. Yo Kadafisi wapfuye mu muhanda. KAGAMISTAN rero ibye mu byitegure cyane, kuko none se yigize akaraha kajyayo. Ntabwo ashaka kubaho neza, ntabwo ashaka kubaha abantu, ntabwo ashaka kubaha ikiremwa muntu, yigize umujenosideri. None se abajenosideri barangiza gute? Ni gutyo nyine birangiza. Atagahondesho po. Ipfa rero kuyavuga siko kuyamara kabisa. Mukomere cyane. Nshimishijwe kabisa na komantere zanyu zose n'abantu bose bari bahari, kandi uru rugamba rugeze kure. Rero mwihangane cyane, ntihagire abantu bahangayika ngo bagire impungenge n'iki byose hanyuma ngo bakore erreur, kuko urugamba rugeze kure cyane. rero mugomba gukomeza kwihangana urumva se ntimube abafobaganyi urugamba rugeze kure ntimube nk'uriya mutipe wo muri Zimbabwe wafobaganye akajya kuba umukagamiza akajya kuba muri Kagamistan kugeza naho yaje nta n'isoni gutuka aba activist ngo ni abajenosideri ngo ni abana b'abajenosideri njye nagiye kumusubiza mubwira nti Rutendo mayibobo wowe nta n'isoni indaya ya Kagamistan indaya intellectuel babandi bacuruza mu mutwe waho bakurikije inda yawo gusa nta soni zo kuvuza kwita abantu ngo abana b'abajenosideri ngo abajenosideri kandi uri muri Kagamistan wagiye ugahura na Anko Kaga ni umujenosideri genda uhure na Ange Kagame genda uhure na Ange Kagame abo nibo bana b'abajenosideri hanyuma nta soni umuntu ari muri Kagamistan yabaye kagamize yafobaganye bamuhinduye umucakara mu mutwe n'umutindi ku mutima ukaza gutuka abantu hanze ahangaha oya niba ushaka abajenosideri n'abana babo ganira na Kagame ganira na Ange Kagame abo nibo bana b'abajenosideri na Kabarebe afite abana genda uganire n'abana ba Kabarebe ni ikibwa cyane kiriya cya Rutendo ni ikibwa Ausares tubwira Rutendo cyafobaganye mana ishobora byose cyafobaganye nuko muteba kiramwina ati blue means espoir comfort future positive ocean opportunities my people by the ocean chilling know thy divine rights my people tugeze mu ibihe twaharaniye tubigezemo kuko kuva kera nahoraga mbabwira ni ngiye mfite vision nabonye vision ya nyuma ya Kagamistan nuko bizaba byifashe yo my book for nyuma ya Kagamistan is ready bivuga ko na nyuma ya Kagamistan turimo turahakabakaba my people imyaka yose turimo duharanira ngo boycott byageze mwibuka abantu bose twashwanye abuzukuru ngo ntitu boycott Rwanda ngo bagiye muri business ngo batanga akazi Rwanda ubu ngubu bari hehe ngo bavugire Kagamistan ngo ntimu boycott Kagamistan kuko Kagamistan atanga akazi Rwanda bari hehe babandi bavugaga ngo za amnesty ninde ubu ngubu watinyuka kuvuga ngo hoya ngo nimubahane mubabarire amnesty bari hehe murabibona abantu bose twashwanye nabo no gucalenjinga na opposition n'abari ku butegetsi bwose umusaruro wabyo turimo turabibona ubu si yose rero yatangiye kumenya Kagamistan batangiye kuba boycota bazagenda biba boycota babafashe kwihirika uwo ni wo musaruro wa Kagamistan my people dukomere rero dukomere cyane kuko urugamba turimo turakabakaba ya post ya vision ya post Kagamistan tugomba kugeraho u Rwanda ruzabaho rukayoborwa n'imfura n'inyangamugayo gusa nibyo duharanira hanyuma kandi abantu bazabasha kuzamura u Rwanda ku buryo rushobora kubaho rwitunze rudatunzwe n'imfashanyo rudatunzwe n'imyenda ku buryo niyo hagira uvuga ngo sanction in the future batabasha kurusanctioninga kuko ruzaba rwitunze ariko kandi in the future nta nubwo bazakenera kurusanctioninga kubera ko ruzaba rufite abayobozi b'imfura n'inyangamugayo badakorera ibishitani abanyarwanda badakorera abaturanyi ibishitani my people turi kumwe sana na Rutendo rwose ni fake cyane maronye ni nyinshi ati Madame Louise himbara ubushize yavuze ko Agata Kanziga ari kanjogera amenye ko yamubeshyeye nta muntu n'umwe yigeze yica ariko Nyiramongi yarishe nka kanjogera wa Rucucu ntakabagereranye ntazongere ubwo tuzaba tureba nyine na Nyiramongi nawe muri nyuma ya Kagamistan tuzaba tureba nawe uko azabaho urumva se kubera ko nibaza ko Kamemu umudamu wa Habyarimana nubwo bwose yabayeho mu buhungiro no muri izi drama zose ariko Kamemu sinzi ko Nyiramongi azabaho neza kumurusha nyuma y'ihirima ry'ubuyobozi bw'umugabo we urumva se nibaza rero ko Nyiramongi kuko wenyine yakoze crime akica abantu akicisha n'abantu mwibuke n'ukuntu David Himbara yatubwiye n'ibyuriya mwana Mupende urumva se nibaza ko n'umugore wa KAGAMISTAN nawe azakurikiranwa. Urumva se umugore wa Habyarimana iyo aza kuba yarabaye kanjogera yakoze izo crime yashoboraga nawe gukurikiranwa mu mategeko, kuko arahari mu Bufaransa. Urumva se kuba rero nta bantu bakurikirana umugore wa Habyarimana mu mategeko bamwakwiza crime bavuga ngo yarabahohoteye aha n'aha nabyo bifite icyo bisobanuye, ariko noneho nimwibaza abantu bazakurikirana Nyiramongi ari nawe Himbara yise kanjogera nyuma y'uko azava ku butegetsi. Deja duhereye no kuri famiye ya Mupende yonyine n'andi mafamiye menshi cyane umugore wa KAGAMISTAN yigize kanjogera ahohotera, yica, anyaga, hanyuma agatuma banahunga. Mahoro nyoni nyinshi ndakumva. Nuko mugire weekend nziza, mutebakira mwina mugire weekend nziza. Nuko Afsana ati Rutendo ari kujya kureba amabuye y'agaciro ku ngorofani. He is so stupid. Ari kujya kureba arimo aravuga ngo satellite. Nari nibajije we satellite ni biki? Ngiye kumva numva abanyarwanda bari kumwe ngo ndi gasegereti. Muzi ko gasegereti tuyizi kuva kera. Mu Rwanda hari gasegereti niga. None se hari uwigeze ashinja u Rwanda ngo ruri muri Kongo ngo rwagiye kwica abantu kugira ngo rusahure gasegereti? Ariko agiye mu Rwanda arabizi ko korutani aricyo kibazo, ariko agiye muri mine ngo yagasegereti we ngo reka mbereke ngo u Rwanda rufite mine, akanabisoma satellite mureka. Ariko satellite ni ibiki? Kumbe gasegereti mu Rwanda kumbe rusanzwe tubizi. Fake cyane. Buriya rero arimo arakina umukino kugira ngo ejo nitumubwira tuti waragurishijwe wabaye indaya KAGAMISTAN azabyitwikurure avuge ngo ngo ngewe ngo nigeze se mvuga korutani ngo nagiye muri mine ya satellite. Arimo arakina double game, arimo arakina KAGAMISTAN, arimo aratandaraje, arashaka gutandaraza ariko azatanyuka kuko twaramubonye. Mwamubonye se avuga ngo arapfukamye ngo arasaba imbabazi. Bamugize neza nka bya bintu bakora abanyarwanda nyine byo kubafobaganisha, hanyuma nyine yanasubira n'i Rwanda. Mubona ko abanyarwanda benshi bava muri diaspora basubira i Rwanda bagatangira bakabeshyera aba activist hanze aha ngaha ngo barancukaga, ngo bambwiraga ibi bintu n'ibi. Umuntu w'umugabo ngo baramushukaga ngo bamubwiraga ibintu ngo yumvisha abo bantu ngo none ari kumva abandi. Mbega ni ukuvuga ngo ntiyitekerereza, nta mutima agira, nta mutwe agira. Abandi bahora bamutekereza bakamubwira ibintu none akajya mu byo abamubwiye. Mbega umufobaganyi. Twajyaga tubona abanyarwanda bafobagana, ntago twari twaramenye ko ushobora no gufobaganisha n'umuntu wo muri Zimbabwe rero yenda twabirangirizaho. Zimbabwe irimo irakina double game, mwumve n'impamvu, mwumve n'ibiri inyuma ye. Zimbabwe irimo irakina double game, 1 minute iri kumwe na Kongo, the next minute iri kumwe na KAGAMISTAN. Hanyuma kandi mwibuke uko Zimbabwe ngo yafashije KAGAMISTAN yafashije Zimbabwe mu gihe yari iri under sanctions. Ubundi twebwe twari against sanctions za Zimbabwe, ni nako twamenye Rutendo twanamuzanye kuri UNI igihe yavugaga no sanctions kuri Zimbabwe. Nene twebwe tuti why are they sanctioning Zimbabwe kandi KAGAMISTAN ari cyo kibazo? Ubu rero aribwira ko ashobora gukora kampanye agakuraho na sanctions za KAGAMISTAN, ariko ikibazo nuko KAGAMISTAN hari aba criminals. Rero yafobaganye neza ahinduka nk'uko abanyarwanda iyo bafobaganye bigenda, bakajya mu Rwanda bagatangira bakabeshya ngo ni bene wacu bambwiraga ibintu, barancukaga, baranyoheje, barabanyangishije, noneho ngo n'ishyari azanamo ngo n'ishyari we. Antuka nuko Madamu Louise ati amatwi ansumira ko abavantara barara mu nama zo gusimbura Pilato kugira ngo batuzirike indi myaka 30. Bivugwa bahimbara Rudasingwa Nyamwasa Eugene Gasana Gahima ngo nibashaka ko RDF isenywa. Abanyarwanda rero bose bagomba kwimobiliza de tous les côtés kugira ngo iyi shanjoma izabaho izabe ari shanjoma ikorera abanyarwanda. Urumva se apana ngo akagurupe k'abantu ba kanaka na ba kanaka, urumva se ngo nibo bafata ubutegetsi cyangwa bagumana ubutegetsi. Tugomba kwiyashyura ko impinduka iyo ari yo yose yabaho yafavoriza abanyarwanda, ko n'abajyaho ku butegetsi abo ari bo bose baba bagiye gukorera abanyarwanda. Urumva se tukajya muri never again, plus jamais natwe tugomba mbega kuyoborwa n'abantu badakorera abanyarwanda. Urumva se plus jamais natwe tukavuga tuti natwe rero aho tugeze ubu ngubu tugomba kugira abayobozi badukorera. Urumva se bakorera abanyarwanda. Ni icyo ngicyo tugomba guharanira. Hanyuma kandi abo bayobozi bakorera abanyarwanda bakaba ari imfura, bakaba ari inyangamugayo. Tubiharanire. Noneho dusapotinge n'abo dushaka gusapotinga. Noneho niba ntabo dusapotinga byibuze natwe twe expressing our own views kugira ngo hatagira abaza bagahijakinga movement, hanyuma u Rwanda rukirota ruva rwongeye kujya mu yindi dictatorship, riva muri dictatorship rujya muri dictatorship, rujya muri dictatorship. Rero abanyarwanda ntihagire umuntu hijakinga, urumva se, kugira ngo abanyarwanda batongera bakagwa mu yindi dictatorship indi myaka 30. Urumva se. Afsana ati nibatwereke Cobalt twikorere za Tesla. Afsana kaya ati humiliation ya mbere, imagine umuzimbabwe uri gupfukamira mu Rwanda. Can you imagine? Hey, hari gupfukama nyine kuko nyine bamubwiye bati pfukama, kuko nibiriya bamaze imyaka bakora abanyarwanda, nibiriya bakora abanyarwanda. Noneho ahubwo bajyaga babikora abanyarwanda, kumbe they can even do it no ku banyamahanga. Can you imagine? Kugera KAGAMISTAN bizamenyekana ko KAGAMISTAN yari abantu bari barazobereye mu gufobaganisha abantu, kugeza naho bafobaganishije umuzimbabwe we. Ibaze kubona umuntu utari n'umunyarwanda afobagana, noneho akaba kagamize, noneho agatangira akavuga ibintu nk'iby'abakagamiza bafobaganye bo muri KAGAMISTAN basanzwe bavuga. It's so incredible. Nonke bizamenyekana ko nta kindi KAGAMISTAN yari izi uretse iterabwoba, kugura abantu, gutuma abantu bajya mu buraya, kugurisha abakobwa, kugurisha abahungu, hanyuma no gutuma abantu bose bafobagana. Donc amateka azamenya ko KAGAMISTAN yari yarazobereye mu gufobaganisha abantu, kugeza naho bafobaganishije Rutendo wo mu Zimbabwe akajya mu Rwanda akavuga ngo arapfukamye. Yabivuze kuri video ngo arapfukamye we. Ese urapfukamye wari warakoze ikihe cyaha? Ese uri umukriminel, uri umujenosideri, wakoze ikihe cyaha? Kuba waravuze ibitekerezo byawe hanyuma ugasabwa kumanika amaboko no gupfukama kuko just wigeze kuvuga ibitekerezo byawe. Icyo ni nacyo cyerekana ukuntu KAGAMISTAN ari criminal dictatorship. Kubona bafata umuntu ngo napfukama basaba imbabazi ko yigeze kuvuga ibitekerezo bye, ariko nta crime yakoze. Ariko umuntu utarakoze crime niwe upfukamye, apfukamiye abajenosideri arimo abasaba imbabazi, hanyuma akaba kagamize, agafobagana, agahindukira, agatangira agashaka kwita amazina abantu, agashaka kubita ngo abajenosideri n'abana b'abajenosideri. Niyo mpamvu namubwiye nti abana b'abajenosideri ni bahanje Kagame, ni abana ba Kabarebe, genda ubashake. C'est incroyable. KAGAMISTAN rero ni gutyo nta kundi, izamenyekana nk'abantu nyine bari bazi, bari aba expert mu gufobaganisha abantu kugeza naho bafobaganishije n'umuzimbabwe we. Mahoro na Nica ati Madame Louise, abavantara kubera baduhemukiye barara biruka muri bamatse ibihugu ngo baduterekerereho bongere baturagirisha imbunda n'amasasu kugira ngo tutazabakurikira mu bwicanyi n'umugome badukoreye. Baribeshya cyane. Iki gitabo cyanjye nyine givuga kuri spiritual law, ibibi bakoze uwakoze ufite crime zose ufite amaraso azayishyura inzira nyinshi cyane zo kuyishyura. Ntago rero abantu bashobora gupfukiranya ngo ntibazahanwe, kuko batanahanywe n'amategeko y'abantu bazahanywa n'amategeko y'Imana. Hari amategeko batabasha gusimbuka. Hari abantu bibwira ko ngo kuko bafite power, kuko bashobora kumanipira power, kuko bafite amafaranga bashobora kumanipira ibintu ngo hanyuma ntibazahanwe. Bazahanwa. Nibadahanwa n'amategeko y'abantu, bazahanwa n'amategeko y'Imana. Muribuka umuswa aza hano kuri show yazanye resolution de pacotille, tukayicalenginga bya hatari, tukayithrowing out. Hanyuma kandi muribuka icyo gihe tumubwira tuti twebwe turi muri gahunda ya boycott, tworganize boycott KAGAMISTAN. Ese mwebwe mufite ama degrees mu malaw, ngo mwirirwa munatwiyemeraho ngo mufite amafaranga, nimushobora gukoresha degrees zanyu n'amafaranga yanyu ngo bafatire sanction u Rwanda, bafatira ibihano, hanyuma natwe tujye muri boycott. Muribuka ukuntu yambwiye ngo no, ngo bo ntibashaka ko u Rwanda rufatirwa sanction, ntibashaka ibyo bihano, ntibashaka gukora boycott. Hanyuma excuse faferu yazanye ngo mu Rwanda ngo hari abarwayi ba sida ngo bakeneye imiti ya sida. We muribuka umuswa avugira hano ngo kubera ko hari abarwayi ba sida i Rwanda bakeneye imiti, ngo bo ntibashaka ko baha sanction na boycott. Nanko umuswa yarababajwe n'imiti ya Kabarebe urwaye sida, donc ngo ntibafatire sanction KAGAMISTAN ngo kugira ngo Kabarebe akomeze yibonera imiti ya sida. Umuswa yarabyivugiye hano. Ngaho ni munyumvira ibyo bintu, ubwo si byo ni ibiki? Nuko rero to utari bazishyura n'akazi kabo, kuko hariho amategeko y'abantu akabaho n'amategeko y'Imana. Bashobora gusimbuka amategeko y'abantu ariko ntibashobora gusimbuka amategeko y'Imana. Bazishyura generation after generation, bazishyura. So mubacunge. Urumva abantu bavuga ngo ibyo gucana ku maso, muri bibona ko hano hari amaso ari kubareba kuri iyi couverture we. Abasuwa nabo ntibashakaga sanction. Ubu se bari hehe ngo badefande KAGAMISTAN ko yafatiwe sanction? Abantu bose bavuze amnesty, abantu bose bari contre boycott, abantu bose bari contre sanction. Ariko rero Imana yarabikoze kugira ngo ibatwereka abo bose. Abuzukuru twibwiraga ngo naba activist bagiye muri business na KAGAMISTAN. Abaswa mukibwira ngo bari muri opposition, kumbe ntibashakira KAGAMISTAN sanction. Abandi nabo sinzi ibindi baba ari turimanganya. Ibyo byose twagiye tubacalenginga hanyuma bikaba exposed. Urumva se? Dukomeze rero, kubera ko le peuple ont des dirigeants qu'il mérite. Niba twebwe twaravuze tuti turashaka imfura n'inyangamugayo, tubiharanire. Hanyuma kandi nitubona abantu batari imfura batari inyangamugayo muri politike, go after them, tuba calling out, kugira ngo tutazasondekwa, tutazongera gusondekwa. My people, turi kumwe turi kumwe. Mahoro nyoni nyinshi ati madamu, abavandara bavuga ko Padiri Thomas afite abayoboke benshi, bakavuga ko abangamiye umugambi wabo mubi wo kuzatugira ingaruzwa muheto nyuma ya Pilato. Niyo mpamvu badashaka ko RDF isenywa. Si byo se nigeze kubabaza nti muraharanira iki? Muraharanira demokarasi na repubulika, res publica ni ubuyobozi bwa publique, bivuga ngo bw'abaturage. Demokarasi nayo ni demos kratos, demos ni abantu. Ni ukuvuga ngo ari demokarasi ari repubulika ni ubutegetsi bugendera kuri support y'abaturage. Aba bantu rero aho kugira ngo bashyire ibitekerezo byabo imbere, babone support y'abaturage, bakibasira umuntu ngo kuko we afite iyo support y'abaturage. Ibyo ni ibiki? Kandi turaharanira demokarasi, turaharanira repubulika. Niba duharanira demokarasi, duharanira repubulika, tugomba kwemera ko hari umuntu, niba abaturage bamwikundiye, bamuhaye amajwi yabo, bamuhaye support yabo, we must kwiga ku respect ibyo bintu. kuko niyo demokarasi niyo repubulika, nuko abaturage benshi bagusapotinga. None se niba umuntu abaturage bamusapotinze ari benshi, ariyo demokarasi ariyo repubulika, hanyuma abantu bakamwangira icyo, kandi turi muri demokarasi turi muri repubulika, bo baba baharanira iyihe systeme politike? Icyo ni cyo kibazo abantu bagomba kwibaza, baharanira iyihe systeme politike? My people. Mukomere 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 mukomere, ndabona twageze no mu mamodoka na za Tesla na za Toyota, reka sinakubwira. Yo my people, rero kuyavuga siko kuyamara, reka turangize reka nzanemo wa muziki wo kurangiza. Uri hehe se? So where is the music yo? Okay. Turekora. My people, murakoze cyane. Imana ikomeze ibamenye muri byose. My people, turi kumwe nakagaruka, tuzajya tuba duhari. Antuka ibyo twaharaniye turimo turabikabakaba, ibyo twaharaniye turimo turabikabakaba. Mukomere rero, ntihagire uhungabana, ntihagire ujegajega. Turi abana b'Imana, dukorera Imana, dukorera ukuri, umusaruro uzatugeraho. Abibwiraga ngo bakoreye amafaranga, Kizito ishema n'amafaranga, tugiye kubona umusaruro wabo. Ya matabure doneri yose baharaniraga, baba sanctions bababuze kugerayo, maze turebe umusaruro wabo, maze yenda nibwo abantu bazabyumva bati ukora ikiza ukagisanga imbere. Ikintu cyonyine dushobora gukora kugira ngo twiproteje no gukora ibyiza, ugukira muri banke ikiza. Iryo ni ryo somo. Ibyiza rero twakoze tubisanga imbere bitugereho. My people, igitabo cyanjye ni umusaruro n'ibyiza namenye byose kabisa, nabibashyiriye mu gitabo, ndabibahaye byose. Apana byose, ariko you understand what I mean. Mutebakira mwana, last year after Tesla ufite Jag. Nice. Very nice. Kira. Komera cyane, uragahora ukize, uri umukire wa hatari, ufite izo ushaka zose. Baguhe izo ushaka za Tesla, Jag, za Benz, za BMW, kira kitu. My people, turi muri gahunda ya kira, turakire twese. You know. Abundance mentality. Okay rero my people, reka mbareke. Bizu, turi kumwe. Imana ikomeze ibamenye muri byose my people. Naho ubutaha, reka rero mbapepere. Bizu nuko Kiramwina ati yo wapi, ntabwo ndi umukire, ndabikwifuriza kira, turakire twese, kira kabisa. PK, thank you. murakoze 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 my people, imana ikomeze ibamenye muri byose. No worries, we will teach you, we'll teach you. Thank you so much my people, mugire weekend nziza, mugire weekend nziza, turi kumwe, imana ikomeze ibamenye muri byose, muri byose, muri byose. My new book yatangiye gusohoka. Ah la la. Nuko. Bisous, bisous. Let's end the broadcast. Everybody ndabahobeye cyane. Murakoze, murakoze. Nahejo muri rediffusion. Imana East. Know thy divine rights. Menya. Menya, menya, menya. Reka numve inama za mahoro nyoni nyinshi ari kumbwira ngo madamu yize studio yawe ni nziza ariko uzarebe niba wazahindura amabara y'umutuku vanze n'umukara n'umweru nko kuri BBC. Kabara cyane. Tuzabigeraho. Murakoze. Afsana, merci la famille. Turi kumwe. Biju. Ashka today. Thank you. Yo, I was supposed to go back on Ashka to encourage the Congolese people and to tell them I stand with my people, with the Congolese people. I stand with my art. Truth, justice for all. La matrie ou la vie éternelle, nous sommes la victoire. Vie et victoire au peuple Congo. On est ensemble. Turi kumwe my people. Imana ikomeze ibamenye muri byose. I will be back on Ashka today. I will be back. Ashka has invited me, and we actually almost had a date, and then it didn't go through because I got blocked on Facebook. I got sabotaged, but we will plan it again. Thank you. Murakoze, my people. Murakoze. Amahoro. Imana East. Oh la la. Bisous. All right, let's end though.